Okie dokie, I believe we are all the way live. Hello and welcome to my graveyard. I am your host of the evening, the Cemetery Man from Salem, Mass. Always taking names and kicking candy ass, live in living color here with you on Grande's Graveyard. And it is the last goddamn Grande's Graveyard of the whole goddamn year. So sit back, relax, ease the seat back, and join our special guest of the evening. On Instagram, he is known as the Cabinet of Dr. Howdy, but he also goes by the simple name of Will. Will, what's going on, good brother?
What's going on, man? I'm ready to shoot the shit, chop it up. Thank you for having me on, man. It means a lot.
Hey, man, anytime. Yeah, no, like I was telling you before we started, I had found your show through AJ, because AJ is like a recurring guest on my show, and he chops it up with you guys from time to time. And I was like, oh my God, like this is a funny ass show. I love all the Savini references, and like you guys have a great sense of humor, always drinking. I know you're drinking tonight. We'll get to what we're drinking. But speaking of Mr. Zitro, he's the first one in the house. The Mega Powers. Oh yeah, dig it. We're not gonna turn on for Miss Elizabeth though. Not tonight, at least. I don't know.
Elizabeth, you heard her.
Let me tell you something. I saw the lust in your eye from Miss Elizabeth, and I didn't like it. No. Justin H is in the house, aka Mr. Marco T Beast from Insta. Marco, what's going on, good brother? It's 12 after. Let's get this going. I have to take a pill. I'm sorry. We were shooting the shit, and I don't know. I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. They were actually right. They were right on that. They knew me.
You were in the crapper.
I was taking a piss. I had to, you know.
You got to drain the main vein, right? You got to drain the main vein. The Master of Fear is here. What's going on, good brother Devin? Hope all is well with you, man.
What up?
AJ with this lovely comment. I don't know.
Well, yeah, he's an asshole. So, you know, asshole AJ. That's what we call him.
Yeah, no, but we do love Mr. Zitro, and you know, all kidding aside. But hey, man, I've been wanting to have you on. I figured to do a little like getting to know you stuff for people who don't know you. Granted, thank you for bringing Mr. Marco to the graveyard, and hopefully maybe Jeff will be joining us later. But man, I wanted. Well, first of all, we could start small. I know you were at the liquor store, and I know you told me before the show. But tell our listeners, what are you drinking tonight, good brother?
Yeah, man. So I'm drinking it's called Iron Hill Brewery. It's a brewery. It's around New Jersey, where I'm from, South Jersey. They have a couple restaurants around here, but got to get in the cat. It's called Reindeer's Revenge. It's an American triple. It's 9%. So you know, I like to go potent. That's my thing. You know what I mean? You know, I could drink Budweiser, but I'm gonna drink like 20 of them to even get a feeling on me. You know what I mean? That's like soda to me now. So Reindeer's Revenge, it really, you know, it gets Rudolph kicking you in the nuts. You know, you feel it within a couple, 2 or 3 beers. You know, so and I got whiskey too. If I start running out of this, jump in and grab the whiskey train going on. So you're in for a ride tonight, buddy.
Fuck yeah, man. You and all the reindeer get your fucking revenge. I'm down with it. I think it's fun. I think it's good enough. Miss C's in the Heezy. Miss C, what's going on? Happy Thursday. I'm boring tonight, but I'm drinking the last fucking drop of Coca-Cola. So I'm gonna pour this son of a bitch because I've been seeing you drink.
Pull it down your gullet, baby. It's gonna be good.
Yeah,
that's
man.
The last drop. We were saying that earlier. The last drop's like that kind of flat but still fizzy, syrupy love at the bottom. You know what I mean?
I love it, man. It's a little bit of oomph. I don't know. It's something about it. It's a little bit magical. The last drop.
I used to be a Pepsi guy when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I used to love Pepsi, hated Coke, but I slowly became a Coke guy later on. And not just, you know, double entendre there, if you know what I mean. I slowly became a Coke guy. But just kidding. Don't do drugs. But no, Coke is great, man. And Coke goes with like pizza and wings like perfectly. Pepsi sucks.
Dude, nothing goes better with pizza than cola to me. Like cola and pizza, it's just like, it's the fucking match made in heaven, man.
It's really so good, dude. It's unbelievably good.
Yeah, no, I'm a mark for it, man. For real. Ty Junebug Films is in the Heezy. Ty Junebug, what's up, man? Happy Thursday. Reindeer piss.
AJ reindeer piss, yeah. AJ, you're going to get reindeer piss upside your head and keep talking shit.
Yeah, no. But everybody, cheers to a wonderful Thursday night where we'll be talking all things the TZone tonight. I'm super excited. Oh, man, that's a good stuff. That's some good syrupy shit. But let me ask you, man, because you have a great podcast. I wanted to know, well, first of all, let's get your background, right?
Yeah.
You're a young up-and-comer. What was one of the few or many movies that got you into being a horror fan that you are today?
Yeah, man. So I got like a couple. It's weird. I have like a trifecta kind of like what really got me into horror. You know, what really like when I was a kid, And I talk about this on our episode in January, Brian Yuzna, celebrity status shit. But I talk about American Werewolf in London and the Wolfman. The Wolfman's the best. But now I remember being a kid. I remember watching American Werewolf in London. My mom used to act like she was a director, and she would like say action. I would do my hand, like I would act like I'm turning into fucking. I was David, and that like really that got me bit, Along with like at the time I was watching like the miniseries It, which scared the fuck out of me as a kid. I used to love it. That was my intrigueness with horror because when Pennywise would come on screen, I was a little kid. I would tell my mom like, cover the screen. I don't want to see him, but I wanted to keep watching the movie. You know what I mean? Same with American Werewolf in London. Like it would creep me out. It has that comedy, that nice horror comedy feel to it, but it's still like the special effects as a little kid. You're like, whoa, what the fuck, dude? Like this is pretty insane, And like a lot of Universal monster movies, like I said, the Wolfman and Dracula and stuff like that. Like when I was a little kid, and then. It's going to make my dad look bad, but as I got a little older, I think I was like 12, I was super into Wes Craven, Nightmare on Elm Street, the usual shit that everybody's into. And my dad was like, have you ever seen Last House on the Left? And I'm like, what the fuck is Last House on the Left? So I remember going to, it was like Suncoast Video or West Coast Video or something like that. And I remember seeing Last House on the Left, the MGM DVD, the one they usually had at like Walmart and shit like that. And I asked my mom, the burps are starting. I asked my mom, like, Mom, can I get this DVD? She's like, yeah, sure. My mom and dad never fucked me through any kind of censorship or anything. They let me watch whatever I wanted to, as long as it wasn't porno. So I buy this movie. And I remember the guy at West Coast Video or Suncoast, whatever the hell it was called, even was like, are you sure you want to get your kid this movie? To my mom. My mom got like super mad at him. She's like, who the fuck do you think you are? Like, da da da. So I bring it home. Put it on. I'm thinking I'm going to get like a Freddy Krueger, Shocker, Hills Have Eyes type feel here. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what I'm getting myself into. And I put it on and it's just David Hess brutally raping two women and torturing them throughout the whole film. And I remember that's where I realized what real horror is. Like real horror is like Mankind type shit. You know what I mean? Like this could really happen. A werewolf's not going to happen. A fucking Freddy Krueger isn't going to happen. But a David Hess, you could be living next door to a David Hess. Yeah. And that's what really, I was just like, holy fuck, man, this is awesome. And then as that bit me, I found, the ultimate Cannibal Holocaust and all the Italian films that followed. And ever since then, I've just been a real scumbag with it, so...
That's amazing, man. Like I love that origin story, bro. But first, like you said, American Werewolf in London, I have to ask, because I went, before all this COVID nonsense started, I went in New York City. There's a fucking replica of the Slaughtered Lamb, the bar from the beginning.
Oh, shit, it's awesome.
Bro, it's like, and they got all sorts of, I don't drink, but they have all sorts of beers and wings. And bro, I must have put away like 30 wings there, man. I fucking went.
You didn't get it. I would have to, if I went to the Slaughtered Lamb, I would have to get in a fight.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
I would have to like get the staff pissed off at me, just like the movie, and have them all look at me like, get out, get the fuck out right now. You know what I mean? Like, kick me out of the bar. Start a whole fucking riot.
Yeah, no, it's cool, man. I fucking highly recommend you go, because it's like, I remember I walked in, I was like, it's just like I'm in the movie. Like I'm looking around for John Landis or something. I was like,
where was that? You said, what part of New York? What, Manhattan?
It's actually in the Village. So I don't know if you've ever been to the IFC Center. They show like all sorts of late night horror movies there. Like it's the first time where I saw like Human Centipede and House Zoo, the fucking crazy Japanese haunted house.
Yeah, that's a good one, man.
That's a great one. Like they used to show midnight horror movies there. And like one night we went out and I was like, is this the Slaughtered Lamb? And I was like, I must be dreaming. Walked in and I'm like, yo, this is sick. Like sat down, we had a great time, man. This is simpler times before COVID and restrictions and masks and, when the city used to be fun and the city used to have people in it. But
yeah, exactly. Yeah. I wish New York City was like how it was in like Maniac, back in the 80s, a war zone.
Bro, yeah, no, like that's why I love films like Taxi Driver and like just the gritty, grimy, like New York City. That's like, because I didn't experience that as a kid. Like I went to the city the first time in like the early 2000s when I was a kid. So yeah, none of that was really around anymore. But when I see how gritty it used to be and shit, it's just, it's inspiring. I don't know, but what you said about Last House on the Left, that's the truth, man. Like nothing can prepare you for what that movie is because the title doesn't match it at all.
Yeah.
Like not like it sounds almost like a haunted house film, and then when you watch it, you're like, holy shit.
It's a powerhouse film. It just fucks it. It fucks your head right from the get-go, man. It's just,
yeah.
And I love how it has that, like, we could talk about Last House on the Left forever, but I love how it has that hot and warm feel, you know what I mean? Like where it's hot and then it gets warm, then it gets cold with the comedy, and back to hot, you know, just it fucks with your mind the whole entire time. I love it.
Yeah, no, me too. That's an awesome like starter for. I love how your dad asked you, "Hey, have you seen Last House?" Like, what a funny thing to ask your son. Like,
he also
I showed it to my dad, and he was like, "You're a sick bastard."
He also showed me Pink Flamingos too. So, you know,
really shit eating. That's nice.
He's a little crazy, that guy.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. Midnight movies from the old man. That's great. But tell me also, how did you go to like start your podcast? What was the
Yeah, man, it's still like, I mean, with everybody with 2020, everyone got kind of bored and stuff like that. I think I started my horror Instagram, The Cabinet Dr. Howdy, a little bit before 2020. I'm not really positive on when I started it, but, you know, just I got sick of my old Instagram. I just like, you know what, I'm just going to post horror shit because that's what I like to talk about. That's what I like to collect, you know? So I remember I got hammered drunk one night. And I posted on like a story. I was doing like a question and answer type thing. And I was just like, you know, like if I did a podcast, would you guys listen or would you want to come on? And everyone was like, fuck yeah, dude, that'd be fucking awesome. Da, da, da. And like, and also like, I listen to a lot of podcasts. There's a lot of really good ones. But at the same time, I don't hear stuff that I want to hear. You know what I mean? Like I want to hear stuff about like, I don't know, like there's a lot of extreme horror podcasts, but they talk about, you know, just one movie. Like they step by step the whole movie. That's cool and all. But I'd rather hear like the history and like the director and like how it was filming. So like that's kind of how it all started. Like I wanted to start that. And I remember, you know, waking up one day and I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna make a fucking podcast about the Golden Glove. Have you ever seen that one? The German serial killer film?
I have not. No.
Oh my God, dude. Think of Tim and Eric's Awesome Show mixed with Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer, and they just fucked with the characters and just the griminess and sludginess. And it's about a serial killer in Germany called Fritz Hanke. And it's a real dude. He actually ended up getting out. He died in civilian world because I guess I think he had like terminal illness, so they let him out of prison at one point. European prison systems are fucking weird to begin with. You know what I mean? Like you could literally kill a family and they're going to be like, all right, well, you got 6 years in rehabilitation. You got to figure this one out. But that movie's wild. And I remember watching it and I was like, wow, I really like this film because it was just right up my alley. It just makes you feel dirty. You want to take a shower. It's streaming on Shudder, I think, still. So if anyone wanted to watch it, it's on Shudder. The Blu-ray it's not region B. It's all region, but I had to get it from Germany. So it was like $40 on Amazon to get it. So it's a little pricey. So I'd recommend streaming it before you buy it. But I did that and it took off, man. Everyone's kind of liked it. They were like, oh man, it was so much fun. You were funny. And then from there, you know, I met the asshole Jeff and everything else is history kind of.
That's so cool, man. Yeah, no, I like the show. It's got a great sense of humor to it. And I appreciate too, like what you were saying, how certain podcasts, even though you can listen to them, like them, sometimes it's like, this is not exactly how I do it. I'm the same way, man. Like if I listen to the show and they're like dwelling on something like, oh, well, this would never happen. I get annoyed. Like if it goes too long like that, I'm like, all right, but go on with it. Like it happened. They fucking made the movie. Like enough, you know, like I know where you're coming from with that. So it's probably a, you know, partial reason, not something that I thought of, you know, at the time, but probably a reason why I started it too. Cause I don't know if you're a fan of Dead Pit. Dead Pit Radio was my favorite horror show ever. You know,
I never heard of it before, actually.
Dude, it's to me, it's like the thing I aspire to be half as good as. I mean, they were so good, and they stopped the show like after 10 years, and I missed it. I was like, fuck, I miss Dead Pit. Like it was a part of my life almost. And then, you know, I started college, and I decided to start doing this. So it's like, I don't know. It's nice. It's nice to like meet people through the community and hear different opinions and stuff and senses of humor and tastes. And that's what it's so cool about the community. So I want to thank you for coming on, man.
I want to thank you for having me on, man. Like I said, it means a lot. It's fucking awesome. And the cool thing is, like, when I'm on someone else's shit, I can be stress free. I don't really have to think about it, you know what I mean, too much. I can get hammered, do coke, drink a bunch of reindeer revenges. You know what I mean? But
yeah, man, the graveyard the gates are fucking open, brother. They are open. Hugo Guzman is in the heezy. What's up, guys? Just joining in. Hugo, welcome to the
my boy.
stream.
What's up, the fanatic? That's another Slick Rick.
Slick Rick, Bloody Disgusting's horror movie podcast comes to mind. The Cabinet of Dr. Howdy's podcast goes to ham. Oh shit,
there you go. Goes ham.
It does go ham.
Hard as a motherfucker, right?
Hell yeah, man.
Hard as a motherfucker. That was me last night, dude. Hard as a motherfucker.
Let me ask though, because you did mention you're a fan of extreme horror. I've got to ask, because I don't even know if you consider this extreme horror, but to me it was, and it fucked me up like it was. I mean, I've seen Martyrs, I've seen August Underground, I've seen the gore vomit girls and shit. I've seen
stupid.
I've seen more shit than I fucking care to remember. But
yeah.
There's a little movie called Funny Games.
Oh, love it.
And it fucked me up, man. I gotta hear. Are you a fan?
Absolutely. It was Michael I can't say last name, Hanaki or whatever. It sounds Japanese, but it's German, I think, or Austrian or something like that.
Austrian, yeah.
But no, that movie. So that movie, I just actually, cool story. I gave my Fangoria book, right? I had a Fango book, 101 movies you need to see before you die, right? I bought it as a young kid at Borders Books and Music. I don't know if do you remember Borders Books?
You're on the East Coast. Before my time, if it was.
Really?
Yeah. I'm only 25.
You're only 25?
Yeah.
But I thought you were my age. Yeah. Well, holy shit. All right, man. Cool, man. Well, listen, I'm not saying you look old. I just thought you were like my age, you know? So, no, Borders Books got bought out. You know, they actually didn't get bought out. They went under because Barnes & Nobles ended up buying out the Nook. Remember the Nook? They did the Nook thing. And then Borders Books just went done after that, you know? So, I bought this book, Fangoria's 101, and I looked at Funny Games, and I'm like, wow, this, and the way they just talked about it, and I saw the screenshots in the book, I'm like, I got to watch this movie. So I remember watching it, and I love the fact they break that fourth wall. And like, I was like, oh my God, this is like, it's a sadistic movie. It's so fucking sadistic, dude.
And I will never forget watching that for the first time. And I didn't know. I had no fucking clue they were going to break the fourth wall. So I was laying here. It's like 3 or 4 in the morning. I'm like watching with one eye. And like all of a sudden he just like smiles. He's like, do you think they're going to get out? And I remember leaving up and being like, that motherfucker just talked to me. Like, and I thought I'm like, you know, and then I was fully awake for the rest of it. I was like, this is fucked up. I've never had a movie like to me that's like the extreme horror movie, even though
man, well the thing about it, so like I hate the elitist jerk offs that are like, that's not extreme horror. Extreme horror is whatever you want it to be. Like somebody could watch to me, you know, the Human Centipede to me is extreme horror, right? But some people say like, oh, that's a jokey movie, satire. No, it's pretty fucking gross. It's a gross movie. It's extreme, you know. I really, that's the one thing about the horror community that I really hate is the elitist, you know what I mean? Because like you gotta be like, oh, well, this is an extreme horror film to me, and then someone will comment on your post that you've never talked to in your life, right? They don't even communicate with you on Instagram, but they'll be like, that movie was bullshit, ha ha ha, da da da, and you're like, what the fuck? Who the fuck are you, bro? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I remember one time I posted a picture. You can go back. I don't even care. I don't even know the fucking person, but I posted Soulless, which is one of my favorite films. And I posted August Underground. I made a funny post like, when you guys are quarantined or some shit, like watch these 2 movies with your family, like dumb shit like that, right? And someone's like, how dare you disrespect Soulless, putting it next to a pseudo snuff film like August Underground. I'm like, bro, first off, like shut your fucking mouth. And 2, like, what the fuck? Like Soulless is a dirty, disgusting film, just like August. Like, just because you want to be that artistic elitist jerk off, you know, you're like, doesn't mean you got to come on my shit and say that. Like, don't piss on my parade, basically. You know what I mean?
No, I agree with you completely. And like, that's weird for them to say that because there's shit eating in Soulless. For people who haven't seen Soulless, there's some shit eating in it. It's all about like fascism, and the movie fucked up the actors so bad that one of them went and killed the director after the fucking movie wrapped.
Is that what happened to Pasolini?
So they wrapped, and the director's walking to his car, and one of the actors ran him over and fucking killed him. That's a true story.
So you want to, so if you really want to get into the craziness of it, I never knew who killed him. But
I don't know the guy's name either, to be honest.
Well, the director was Pier Pasolini.
Yeah.
And he actually lived through Mussolini World War II Italy. So like he was basically given like a fuck you with his movie of Soulless to like everything that happened with Italy. Because a lot of these people that were doing this type of shit were still around. They were still like in the government and stuff like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like they kind of got a pass after World War II ended. And there's a lot of weird shit that went down. Like, I feel like he might have been killed. There's a possibility of this, you know? That's just me though. That's like I feel like Charlie Kelly and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia with the fucking board. You know what I mean? Like Pasolini comes down, gets hit by a car. Somebody killed him.
It's crazy. But what you were saying about elitist, I hate it too. Like people, I'll say, oh, Funny Games fucked me up. It's the most disturbing movie. They'll be like, oh man, I bet this guy hasn't seen August Underground Post-Mortem. I bet this guy hasn't seen the Vomit Gore Girl trilogy. I'm like, listen, motherfucker, different shit affects you different ways. Like Funny Games is disturbing to me. You really don't see that much violence. You know, certain people, they have to see the violence, but that movie just fucked me up. Oh, you haven't seen a Serbian film. Like, I hate how sometimes the community, they try to one-up you. Like, you think you've seen crazy shit?
All it is, bro.
I'm like, fuck you. Like, that's what I found.
You know, it's funny. A lot of people that, there's certain people that complain about, like, oh, I haven't got my order yet because I ordered it in, like, August, and it's not here yet. It said it was going to be here. Like, that's okay. Like, you could be disturbed about that. But I think most of it is, like you said, it's one-upping. People want their package first, not to watch the movie, but to post the picture. It's all about it. That's really what it is. Like, let's be honest here. Like, I can give a fuck less when my package gets here, as long as it's not super late. If it's like 3 months late, I'm going to be a little like, hey, what the fuck is going on here, buddy? But I'm not going to be sitting there like, I really wanted to post this picture and da-da-da-da-da. Like, it's full of elitists. And then it's the best part about it, too, is the elitists act like they're not elitists, and they become super elitist because of that. It's a whole little thing. This is my mind, what rolls around in my mind every day, you know? Who knows? Maybe I'm an elitist.
We're elitists and we don't fucking know it. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Grande is an old soul. Thank you, AJ. JP's in the Heezy for the graveyard shift. What's going on, good brother? Missy's asking, what's everybody doing for New Year's Eve? She's staying home watching New Year's Evil and fucking Friday 4. Nice.
Cool.
Love Sallow.
Yeah.
Mark's here. Mark's in the house. Mark says they ate shit artistically. Well, I mean, Criterion believes so. So, you know.
Do they? Yeah, the Criterion, Jeff's always on that message board on like Facebook, Jeff's Facebook page, and they fucking hate it so much that Salo's on the Criterion collection. It's so funny to me.
Wow. No, see, I like Sallow a lot, man. I don't know.
Great.
People Mark said, hope we're doing well. You leaving, they just got started talking about Sallow. Dude. I never give my opinion unless asked, but when asked, be prepared. Hashtag Halloween 2018. Oh, AJ's not a fan. Hugo says, I agree with you, Grande. Funny Games fuck me. It did, man. I don't know what that movie, like what it is about that movie, but I watched that and I don't know, it got me.
It knocks really your dick loose a little bit, man.
It probably did, man. Like I remember being like fucked up the next day, like Jesus Christ. Like I just felt horrible about myself. Like I had to watch like, a Tom and Jerry or something. Like, like remember that, like restore my faith in humanity for a day.
I'm telling you, that movies, they really do fuck with you, man. Because like when we did that disturbing film episode a while back, and we brought our buddy on Manic Horror Reviews, Sam. He owns he's a co-owner of Era 4444. They're putting out all that crazy Asian horror shit. They just straight up and give a shout out real quick. Yo, Era 4444 has the Funky Forest and the Warp Forest on pre-order. They have a badass package. It's like $50, worth it. Movie looks fucking insane. But Sam's an extreme horror aficionado. We brought him on. And the week before, I was watching like In a Glass Cage, Sallow, August Underground. I told my wife, I was like, I feel like I'm becoming a serial killer. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, I feel like I'm getting like desensitized. Like, I was so depressed for a week watching these movies like back to back. I'm like, oh my God, man. Like, it was insane. But yeah, that's definitely not a fun genre, but it's a cool genre to dip your toes into if you haven't yet.
Yeah, no, completely. And isn't that a great thing to tell your wife? Hey, honey, I think I'm becoming a serial murderer.
That's actually the least of the crazy comments that I tell her daily, so.
Wow. So I don't know. We'll wonder what the most is. But since we're on the top, one more like getting to know you question before we get into the movie.
Yeah, man.
We're on the subject of extreme movies. Do you have one that either a favorite or one that fucked you up the most? Like for me, Funny Games, but for you, did you have a different one?
Man, that's a hard one. because there's so many that really like just put me in a weird mood. But it's not horror related. It's Happiness. The movie Happiness from Todd Solondz.
Oh fuck!
that movie. Well, that's the thing. The craziest, most brilliant part of that film is that it puts me in a not a bad mood, but a depressed mood. But it makes me laugh throughout the film in parts that I shouldn't laugh at because it's so well done. I kind of go over it in the disturbing film episode. That was the one I wanted to talk about the most. But that movie definitely is the one that like kind of, I guess it would be my favorite extreme film, my favorite extreme horror of all time. Shit, man. I mean, I would love to say Cannibal Holocaust because that's pretty extreme.
Yeah.
But
without
going that route, I would say honestly, man, Flowers and Flesh and Blood, Guinea Pig. You know, that movie is just it literally reminds me of like when I was a kid. I was at the public library, and I would like get a movie like a VHS tape and put it in. It looks like it's filmed like a library educational video. That's the way it reminds me how it was filmed. You know. And that movie is just fucked up. And then little going off of that, Tumbling Doll of Flesh. Have you seen that?
I have. Yes, I have.
That is like one, they were definitely paying homage to Flowers and Flesh and Blood, but that tongue scene when he bites her tongue and just starts pulling on it with his teeth. Like I've bit my tongue. I got really fucking stoned one time. I was eating pizza and I bit my tongue so hard, bro, where it was a gash. And my wife was like, hey, it's just a tongue bite, big deal. And I'm like, no, you got to look at this. And I pulled it out, bro. It was like a sliver off my tongue. So when I watched bro, the pizza was good. You know, East Coast pizza, baby. East Coast pizza, you can't. All you West Coast, Midwest, I know you got the Chicago pies and shit, like the deep dish shit, but fuck off, East Coast all day. I was eating this fucking pizza, bro, like, and boom, I slivered it. But when I watched Tumbling Doll of Flesh, I was like, yo, that makes me want to like, I just made me fucking I hate it. I even hate thinking about it. But them 3 movies right there, I think everyone should give it a shot, you know?
That's some great choices, man. And that's amazing. I'm amazed you said Happiness because that's a movie that like I wouldn't think, but absolutely it makes perfect sense. Like when you see that movie, especially like the Dylan Baker character, and it's a really fucked movie. Dave Solans is he makes some interesting films. I don't know if you've ever seen
Dollhouse is another good one.
Welcome to the Dollhouse, great. Yeah. For me, growing up, the one that fucked me up the most was Palindromes, which I don't know if you've seen, but
that was wasn't that a sequel to Welcome to the Dollhouse, right?
Yes, it's like it's like Palindromes is basically like this girl, Aviva. We follow her, and like every other scene, she's played by a different actress throughout the whole film.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And it just, I don't know, like it totally messed with me. It's like a coming of age and it's very fucked up. Like, you know, that guy, or not Dave Solans, Todd Solans is a guy.
Todd Solans, yeah.
He's really good. And Happiness is probably his best film. Palindrome's the one I remember the most of as a kid, just being like, holy shit. Like they should show that, you know, the whole sex education class. Like they should show fucking Palindromes, man. I think they'd scare the shit out of some kids. Like that'd be
same. Well, look at that. Wait, the Soulless trench coat. I like that goat thing. What is
Trenchy's in the hazy, man. What's going on, brother? Staying frosty tonight, I hope. Spoiler, when they killed the son, they showed no emotion. I am a dad, so that got me a bit. Hey, man, it got me too. I'm bothered by things that are based on true events. It feels like that could happen rather than shock value, torture porn type movies. So yeah, so similar vein of like stuff like Last House on the Left. Absolutely. Fucking Trenchy says, yay, serial killer pudding.
Yeah.
And Hugo also loves it.
Yeah, Hugo, you're making yourself look like a fucking serial killer. Salo, Happiness. I love it.
No, I love those movies too. And that's
great.
You know, not one I would think, but that's a fucking good one, man. But
yeah, man, I love that film. I love that flick, man.
Yeah, no, me too. They should really release his stuff on Blu-ray. I don't believe there's a Blu-ray of most of his stuff.
Man, I bought the fucking DVD like 2 years ago for like $40 on Amazon. You can get it on eBay for like probably $25 if you look, and it's worth it. The movie is a phenomenal fucking film, dude.
Yeah. Great cast, I remember too.
What happened?
Great cast in that movie.
Oh my god, John Lovitz.
Yeah.
That scene, the opening scene with John Lovitz is brilliant, dude. Oh boy. God, oh yeah, I gotta show everyone this real quick. My wife got me a Christmas present, right?
Oh, let's see. Yeah. I am the righteous man. Ezekiel
dude,
25:17.
The best part is it came with this, and I had it in the front, so it looked like my real license, but it came with that.
Dude, that's amazing.
So now I want to get pulled over, just so I can pull that out and be like, "Here you go, buddy."
Let's just hope the cop that pulls you over has a fucking sense of humor.
It doesn't matter. They never have sense of humor.
That's what I'm gonna say. Yeah, I don't think it'd be. My fucking, I have like a fucking really nice Nolan Ryan baseball card in my wallet, and my fucking goal is like, if I ever get a cop pissed at me, I'll be like, bro, I'll give you this fucking Nolan Ryan. Just let me fucking go, bro. I've been pulled over twice.
I hope you get a cop that like just gets triggered by baseball, and he's like, I fucking hate baseball. He just starts clubbing you with a fucking nightstick.
That would be my fucking luck, to be honest, man. But yeah, no, FYI, the drunker Will gets more.
That's true.
His hair gets. Oh shit, really? Okay, I didn't know that.
Well, I like to play. I don't know why. I like that. I like long hair because you get to play with it. You know, you get to kind of like, I don't know. It's weird. Sure, have long hair.
I think it looks nice. I can't. My fucking hair looks terrible after a while. Like, also, like, you have a nice full beard. I look like a fucking fat Amish motherfucker when I try to grow a beard. Like, I look like I like haven't been on a scooter. Like, I look like an Amish man that secretly has a fridge, like, in his bedroom somewhere. Like, it's horrible. Like, I have the worst.
You're hoarding electricity.
yeah, I'm hoarding electricity from the fucking
little
village.
Shed all the way in the fucking farmland. It has electricity to it.
I've got pizza bagels and shit. Like, I'm just like, fuck these people drinking milk. Fuck that, man. I'm a fucking.
What a bunch of idiots.
These fucking slackers working.
Oh, man.
Days. Fuck that shit. But yeah, no, man. Getting to the topic at hand, though, because weird transition, I know. But getting to the topic at hand, I had briefly mentioned this to you. I was like, you ever occasionally are like, oh, ask me a question, you know? And I asked, I was like, I know he's a Twilight Zone fan, you know, underrated Twilight Zone episode, favorite Twilight Zone episode. And you said Night of the Meek.
Night of the Meek.
And I was like, I've got to get this fucking guy on the show eventually. And I figured what better time to do it than the day before New Year's Eve, which Channel Sci-Fi, they always have the Twilight Zone New Year's Eve marathon. So I was like, oh man, this is a no-brainer. There's going to be Twilight Zones on all day tomorrow. People are still kind of quarantining with all this whole, you know, second spike. So I was like, dude, I want to have you on, talk top 5 underrated Twilight Zone episodes.
Yeah, man, it's fucking awesome to be on. I can't wait, man. When you told me, I love the Twilight Zone, dude. So, and we were talking earlier, like it's so hard to narrow down just 5, you know?
Yeah.
Because I remember going through the 5 today, and I'm like, fuck, I want to put this one on, but I like this one better. And it was so hard. You put me through the ringer today, buddy.
Yeah, no, hey, man, to pick just 5 out of literally a series where I think there's over 100 good episodes is pretty fucking tough. But definitely. I thought the underrated aspect would be fun because if we just did top 5, it's like, how many fucking times can we talk about Burgess Meredith dropping the glasses? And how many fucking times can we talk about the Martian and the diner? And I love those. They're great, but I think underrated. We might throw some curveballs at motherfuckers and they'll be like, wow, like.
I'm hoping, dude. The thing is, with the Twilight Zone, like you were saying, there's so many episodes. Like, I'm hoping from your episode here, somebody might, like, you know, tomorrow, the marathon's on. Wait for one of these fucking episodes to get on. You know what I mean?
No, I figured perfect timing for it. You know, it's like watch it and be like, okay, cool. Like, that's on tomorrow for free on TV. Like, we'll watch that, man. That's awesome. Slasher Fred, I don't know if he's one of your buddies, is definitely a first timer to my show. If you guys ever watched that show, Third Rock, there was an episode that references the episode Nightmare at 20,000 Feet. It is where Dick and the Giant Meathead. Really? Wow. Oh shit. I didn't know that. Favorite episode's The Howling Man. That's one.
That's a great one.
I actually fucking probably should have put that on my list, but it is what it is. But hey, man, you're my guest. I figure you go first. We'll go back and forth. We do have one in common. So it's about 9.
You know what? Let's just save that one for last.
We could do The Howling Man. Sure.
No, I'm saying the one we have in common.
Okay, perfect.
We'll have that for like number 1 because we're both going to talk about it, right? So
absolutely, man. That's the deal.
Well, listen, you know, I went through a shit ton, like I said, a shit ton of episodes today, and I really wanted to hit on episodes where I look for them. You know what I mean? Like when I'm partying, and it's, you know, usually I watch the Twilight Zone when I'm coming down from a party. You know what I mean? Like I'm drunk, I'm eating fucking chicken wings, and I'm watching something comforting. And Twilight Zone to me is comforting. And the first one that spiked my mind, and it's really a depressing episode. is a stop at Willoughby. It's from season 1, episode 30. It aired May 6, 1960. And Ramrod Serling wrote this bad boy, as he did most of the really good episodes. And not most of, all the writers were great. But a quick synopsis, if you haven't seen it before. It's basically about a guy that's he's tired of the corporate world. He's tired of getting shit on and, the competition of corporate office. And, his boss is the biggest dickhead ever. What's he say? Like, push it. It's about
push, Williams. Push.
Yeah, like
fat bastard.
Which is very sexually harassing. I would have, in these days and times, I would have just like reported him. This guy keeps screaming, push it in my face over and over again. But basically, he gets on a train. He's commuting back from work to his home, and he falls asleep, and he kind of comes to this empty train, and they're like, well, next stop is Willoughby. Next stop is Willoughby. That's my old voice. You hear it? That's my old fair voice. You know what I mean? Hey, everybody, come on, say that two-headed line. But he kind of like looks in. It's like this old stress-free town, like from the 1800s kind of. There's that big fucking bicycle wheel thing.
Yeah, the giant wheel and the small wheel. Yeah.
Who the fuck would drive that though?
I would be fucking scared. I'd wipe out on that shit.
Yeah, bro, you fucking make one wrong turn, you're breaking your whole fucking body, not your neck. Your body's gone. You're dying on that thing. And how do you get up on there? A ladder?
Dude, I don't know. Somebody got to hold the son of a bitch. Like,
that's where, you know what? If I would have got off that train, I would have saw that weirdo fucking driving that bike. I would have just been like, yeah, I'm done with this fucking land and get back on the train and go. Never go back. But that's just me. This guy, though, really, he gets a good feeling about it, right? So then he goes back and he has a great dialogue with his wife. His wife's a cunt. And that's what she is, bro. And he's basically telling her, he's like, he's like, this world isn't for me. Like, in this corporate world, like, I'm not this guy. I don't want to do this anymore. Like, this isn't my passion, like, I don't want to do this. And you're a fucking cunt and you're making me do this. And that's the adult version of the conversation. And anyway, long story short, Willoughby in his mind is real, but in reality, it's kind of not, because he jumps from a train and dies. But he's living in Willoughby afterwards. Spoiler alert. And it's just a really good, like, as much as he, like, it's shitty at the end, it's a feel-good episode in a way. And it's very realistic because I work retail, and there's times where I'm driving home like, motherfucker, I'll go to Willoughby right now. I'll drive into the whole goddamn school bus. No, I'm just kidding. But I know me and you were chopping it up earlier when I was walking my dog about Willoughby. I like how we're talking Willoughby. I'm saying like it's like a real fucking place, But
I'm sure it is somewhere. I'm sure there's some town somewhere called Willoughby.
Dude, my dad, so I was going, because he's a Twilight Zone guy, right? My mom and dad. And I was going through my list with them before I got on. And I bring up a stop at Willoughby. My dad's like, that's my favorite one. And they live in Vermont now. And my dad's like, I guarantee there's a Willoughby somewhere in Vermont. And then it turns out there's a Willoughby Lake in Vermont. So I plan on going there this summer and just taking a bunch of Oxycontins and drowning myself.
I knew you were going to say something like that. I was like, you're going to fucking say like I'm going to fucking drown. I'm going to the deep end.
See you later. And just fucking.
Jesus Christ.
Gonna go down. But
I don't even know what
really
to say after all of this.
Though, man.
I got to agree though. This is a great episode. And like you said, like it's something that when we were talking about it today, like as a kid, it's not something you can relate to. It's funny. Your dad said it was his favorite. My buddy, his dad, it's his favorite. So it's something to do with, you have to be an adult, I think, to appreciate this episode and have worked a shitty job here and there. Like I was telling you, when I work at Sirius XM, like I would take the train home at like 3 or 4 in the morning, whatever the fuck it was, the vomit comet, right? All these fucking drunk motherfuckers. And, I'm sitting here like, fuck my life, man. I got to be in by fucking 11 and it's 4, it fucking sucks. And, you'd look out the window and it's just the thing, this episode comes to mind is when you feel sorry for yourself. And like you said, you have a bitchy wife to go home to and this fat fuck boss. And, anybody who's ever been fed up, even a day in their life, can relate to this episode. And Willoughby is this promise of no worries and peace and just fishing and no worries, like the Hakuna Matata town or something. Like it's the ideal place. And I think it's a brilliant episode in that retrospect, because everybody has their own Willoughby that they dream about, you know? And then at the end, it's just such a sad thing that he pretty much had to die to go to Willoughby. And they closed the funeral home truck, and it's Willoughby Funeral Home. So that's what he was dreaming about and all this. And I don't know, the actor gives a good performance. Like you said, Rod Serling does a great job writing. There's a really dark scene towards the beginning where he's like, his secretary is like, hey, do you want anything? And he's like, yeah. He goes, I need a fucking chart of the human anatomy where every fucking vital like artery is. And I was just like, holy shit. Like, my man is not, he is fucking had it, man. He's ready to kill his ass, man. I love this.
I've had bosses like that before too, where, you know, I'll fucking show you what Willoughby is. I'll go to your house. I'll be like August Underground to your house. That's what Willoughby
shit.
is.
You bring Fred Vogel with you, bro.
Yeah,
leave a VHS tape by a bus stop. Fucking freak people
Fred's
out.
a New Jersey native, man.
Yeah, no, and that crazy motherfucker. He used to. I remember back in the day. I mean, this is like 20 years ago. He fucking would leave VHS tapes of the movie, like at bus stops and shit. This is like before 9/11 and shit, and like. You know, after you stopped, you know, people were afraid. Like, well, who left that there? You know, when you find a backpack somewhere, like people get mad sus. You know, he's just a crazy bastard. Like, well,
he's the nicest dude in the fucking world too. Like, super nice. Like,
no, really cool guy.
Real quick, if anyone, I mean, he probably doesn't care, but if everyone's looking for August Underground trilogy Blu-ray, I know it's hard as fuck to find. DM Fred Vogel, see what happens. That's all I gotta say.
Ooh, all right. That's pretty cool. Trenchy says, love TZone. My favorite episode is Monsters Are Due on Maple Street. Great
episode.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Willoughby. We love Willoughby. The voice is mine, Marco's voice. One of the episodes I like is I Shot an Arrow into the Air. That's a really good one. That episode was the inspiration for Planet of the Apes. Yeah, no, that's a really good one. I like that. The twist is it's nothing supernatural. It's just human stupidity. I love it. Willoughby's very good. Vomit Comet, or that train had the Warriors on it. Yeah, I mean, Vomit Comet was bad. That was working in New York City fucking sucked, to me at least. That commuting at bad hours and shit. It was.
I could only
dream of Willoughby. I told you too, almost like the last car, like dreaming of like, can this just fucking go on forever? I don't want to go home. Like, I'm fucking fed up and shit. But yeah, no, that's a great pick. Willoughby, a Stop at Willoughby, great pick. Getting into the first one on my list now. Let me bring it up on the old phone here. Let's see. Okay, now you were telling me this is a shitty Screamo band, which is fucking true. But the episode is really good. Coming in on my list at the number 5 slot, this is number 12. Looks just like you. Yes, number 12. Fucking, this is one of those episodes that I think was like way ahead of its time. Basically tells the story of this young girl. It's actually the same girl who was in To Kill a Mockingbird. She's the one that accuses Nate Robinson of the rape. She's a great actress. She also shows up in like movies like Jaws 2. Really cool like character actress. She's the lead in this, and it's basically this future society that takes place in the year 2000, which I think is fucking funny when you watch it back. You're like, this didn't fucking happen. All these people, when they reach like 17, they have this like surgery that turns them from whatever they look like into whatever number they want to look like. So you have numbers 1 through like 30, and you could pick which number you want to be. And it's like, you know, big yits, fat ass, beautiful face. Like, you basically have the surgery to become a model, and everybody looks the same in the society. And like, I just thought this was so ahead of its fucking time, man, because we live in a world now with all this plastic surgery and, you know, people taking their enhancements to wherever, you know, body part they want or whatever. And I thought this was really smart. This was really, you know, Rod Serling tapping into the horrors of everyone looking the same, right? Because we had touched on this with Eye of the Beholder, which is like one of the most famous, if not the most famous episode of the entire series. But this I thought was smart too, because it's the whole psychology of when everybody's beautiful, we're all ugly, you know? And this girl doesn't want to change because of that. I don't want to change. I don't want to be beautiful. I'm beautiful the way I am and the way I think for myself. And she discusses her father, how he committed suicide because of this, and how everybody's getting married and divorced like it's their own job. Like, there's a lot of stuff in it. It's really good. Richard Long is in it as a few characters. I really love this one, especially the isolated score. Fucking creepy, man. Like, everyone's all smiling and shit, and it almost becomes scary. I love number 12. Looks just like you, man.
I gotta look at it, man. I told you earlier, that's the one on your list that I feel like I haven't seen it. And it's because of what you said earlier, because I always would just say, be like, it's a shitty screamo band. I'm not going to fucking watch this episode. You know what I mean? But now I read the synopsis, though, just because I want to be a little familiar with it. And it sounds fucking amazing. And like you said, it sounds like a more intricate eye of the beholder. That's what I got from it, too, when I read that synopsis on Wikipedia. I was like, oh, man, this would be something I would be into. So probably after this episode, I'm probably going to go downstairs and watch that fucking episode, man. It sounds really good.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, no, I highly recommend to everybody who hasn't seen it, because it's just one of those, the final like shot and line and the score, it's to me, it's horror done perfect. Like every time that episode ends, I just get chills. I'm like, that's horror done right, man. That's really good stuff. Rod Serling got it, man.
Yeah, you get a lot of that from the Twilight Zone. That's horror done perfect. And people don't give it enough fucking respect when it comes to horror. They think Twilight Zone's sci-fi usually. Sci-fi. But like, there's so many good horror episodes. And like you were saying, Rod Serling, his big thing, we were just talking about Willoughby. He wrote that. He wrote fucking Number 12 Looks Like You. His big thing was like the realistic aspect, like almost the extreme horror aspect of things. Like this is going on, or this is happening, or this did happen. And this is what I'm writing about.
Exactly. Yeah, no, it's funny because you had like three main writers of the series. Like you had him, you had Charles Beaumont, you had, of course, Earl Hamner Jr., also Richard Matheson, which is probably my favorite writer of the whole series. I love anything Richard Matheson is just fucking great. You're right. It does have the stigma of sci-fi, you know, and like all due respect, there's a lot of horror here. Like we were talking about Night of the Meek, how much you like Night of the Meek. That I think is really about the horrors of what that holiday has become over the years.
Okay.
And the whole R. Kearney speech of it shouldn't be about people pushing each other out of the way. Like, you know, and he's fucking really into it. It's like, he's right. It has sort of become like this whole fucking horrible thing when it shouldn't be. And that's why I like Rod Serling's whole psychology of it. You know,
I gotta be honest with you, man. Don't do that speech at a real mall, though. I just got out of county a week ago, and it's because I got hammered drunk and did that speech and was pushing kids and moms to the ground. I smoked a little PCP.
God!
I drank a bunch of Old English 840s. And I dressed as Santa Claus, and I tried fighting the Santa Claus at the mall, and I went on that speech. I did the whole speech, man. And I just got out of county now, so I'm just kidding. We didn't do PCP, but I did fight the Santa Claus.
Yeah, the rest is that was like Bad Santa 3, anybody? Like, where's your fucking, like, midget sidekick? Where's Tony Cox at?
Yeah. But no, that's definitely something I'm gonna have to check out, man. That's one that DM Fred Vogel, thank you.
Cha-ching! Anyone do penis enlargement asking for a friend? Yeah, no, hey, I think that's why it's so brilliant about this episode. It's like, you know, what girl with small yits wouldn't want fucking double D yits? Like, why not? Fuck it, you know? And that's really the society it's in. The Tradeins is a cool episode. Really like that one too. That's a good pick. It's about elderly couple trying to find their way to stay together by trading
Look
their
how
lives.
classy this photo is. That's a classy photo.
Yeah. He looks like, I don't know, man. He looks like he's ready for like middle school graduation or something with that shirt, man.
He only likes the trade-in, though, because it's about an elderly couple, and that dude's like 80 years old.
And he's wearing like a middle school polo, bro. I don't know. No, it's funny. That's a really good one. He ends up, they can only afford like the one body, and then he goes try to win the money in like a card game with all these fucking mobsters. Like, it's fucking intense. And like the mobsters are like, what the fuck are you doing here, old man? We're gonna clean you out. Haven't seen this episode, we'll have to check it out. Yeah, totally, man. The most interesting man in the world. Oh shit. He doesn't always drink eggnog, but when he does, it's hood eggnog, baby. Gotta love it.
Slap him around a little bit.
Yeah, no. But what's your next one, brother?
Well, actually, you were saying with the whole card game thing, that actually goes right into my next one. This came out season 3, episode 5, aired October 13th, 1961. It is a game of pool. This fucking episode it's so it's so like you're on the edge because you know something is happening. You know what I mean? Like, you know something's going down. You can't put your finger on it yet because it's Twilight Zone. But I'll get in a little bit of that in a little bit. But George Clayton Johnson actually was the writer of this one. He also did the infamous Kick the Can, which is one of my favorite episodes of all time. And I even love the Twilight Zone movie one, the Scatman Crothers.
Spielberg, yeah.
Yeah, bro. I'm a fucking grown man, bro. That fucking episode end movie part will make me tear up a little bit. If anyone laughs, I'm finding where you live. I'm going to punch you right in the face. So this episode is a pool shark, I guess, right? He'd be like a pool shark or like competitive pool guy. His name's Jesse Cardoff. And, he's basically, he beats everybody around. He's beating everyone in pool. But there's this one guy who passed away who was the best pool player ever, never was beat. And his name was Fats Brown. Fats Brown is the coolest fucking name ever, right?
Yeah, it was a take on Minnesota Fats. I believe there was a real pool player named Minnesota Fats.
Oh, really?
That's where they got the name, I believe.
Minnesota Fats is even cooler. That sounds like a guy that would just be eating ribs and listening to the blues and fucking... That's not in Minnesota. That's in where? Where the fuck am I thinking? I'm thinking like St. Louis or some shit. I don't know. Whatever. But
it's
fucking but fucking anyway, the dude's just like sick and tired. He's like, I wish, no one's giving me any respect because I never beat Fats Brown because Fats Brown's dead. So he makes this wish. Fats Brown ends up being in the fucking bar, and they come to this agreement, this thing, and they're like, if you beat me, you'll be the legend. And if I beat you, it's the same shit as usual, right? And whatever. So it's this really stressful game of pool because something is going on, but you just can't put like I said, you can't put your finger on it. And eventually at the end, Jesse beats Fats Brown, and he's happy as fuck. He's like, hell yeah, bro, I'm about to go fuck a bunch of angels, this, that, and the other, whatever I'm gonna do in the afterlife. Hey, have fun. You're the legend now. And Jesse is now the legend. He ends up becoming the legend. And he's the one that needs to be called upon for all these asshole pool players that are like, I want to beat Jesse Cardoff. He's the best in the game. And he has to play pool in this game for the rest of his life. And there was an original ending to this that George Clayton actually wrote. And it wasn't actually put into mix until the 80s Twilight Zone.
Yeah, they remade it. That's right.
Mm-hmm. Which the remake is just as good. I really like the remake. The remake has that Tales from the Dark Side feel. I feel like it should have been on that instead.
Yes.
Oh man, it has like that smoky atmosphere, and so does the original. But it's just a really cool episode. It's not scary. It's not like horror or sci-fi or anything like that. It's just like not even like, even though it's a ghost, it's not supernatural either to me. It's just like a cool episode. Like be careful what you wish for type shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I love this one. And I think the number one thing is the two performances from the leads, because you would never think these guys, these two actors in particular, could give great, serious performances like they do in this episode. Jack Klugman plays Jesse Cardiff, who, of course, Jack Klugman was on Quincy MD and The Odd Couple. And I fucking love Jack Klugman, big fan. The guy playing the Minnesota Fats Brown, it's fucking Jonathan Winters, who, of course, was like a very famous comedian at the time and was like a big protege to Robin Williams. And he was even on Mork and Mindy. He gives a fucking haunting performance as Fats Brown, man. I love Fats Brown at your service. I mean, it's really good. And the two of them going back and forth, it's so intense because, Jack Klugman's character, he looks at the game as, I never went to the movies. I never dated a girl because it took years. It would take time away from the game. And Fats is telling him there's more to life than just this. He said, I spent a lot of time with the pool cue in my hand, but I swam in the ocean. I made love, and I visited countries where they never even heard of billiards. And these two going back and forth, just really good stuff, man.
It's all atmosphere. That's what it is. It's the atmosphere and the dialogue of that whole episode.
Yeah, it's really good stuff. And like they're even like they're sweating. Like both of them are like, you're like, fuck. You're like, I can almost smell that fucking pool hall, bro. Oh, yeah. I love pool. I love going to shoot pool in the pool hall. Like it's really like, fuck, man. Like you're really on the edge of your seat. And I love he's dogging him at points. And I love there's a scene where he's like, you're just a legend. You live on a reputation. He goes, you know what I see when I see you? I just see a big balloon and just waiting for somebody to stick a needle in it. I'm the someone, here's the needle. And then he's just awesome. Throwing it back at him. He's like, you play with fire, but you can't cook. I mean, fucking great. These two guys just spitting fire at each other.
You are fucking hyped up right now. I love this.
Dude, you're ready, I'm fucking nuts.
You're going to go to a billiards after this episode, and you're going to go fucking just be like, who's the best right now? Bring him on.
I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna cut like a Dusty Rhodes. You know Dusty Rhodes?
Yeah.
Baby, let me tell you something. Tonight I'm gonna fuck some angels over here. I'm going to the castle in the sky, baby. Sweet Sapphire's gonna be waiting for me. God bless her soul. Her body's worse than mine, daddy. No, like it's so good. And like to think that two mostly comedic actors gave a performance in a fucking episode this serious and intense, it's like fucking hats off. I don't know, and I gotta run this by you. Do you care for the ending in this, or do you like the ending in the remake better? Because I know the writer, he hates this episode. He's not a fan because he's pissed they changed the ending. He likes the 80s version better. I personally like this better, but I like the 80s version too. I agree with you. It's not a bad remake at all. It's just not. I don't think the acting is as good.
I think I like, because I've seen this one first. I think I like this ending better. To be honest with you, this is the one I originally saw. I like the 80s one, like I said. Great revision and into the original ending, but yeah, this one, this ending was awesome too. You know what I mean? So, I mean,
I thought it was more of a good twist. Like if you're the best at something, you have to stay alive in the afterlife to defend your crown.
You got to keep the legend going.
Yeah, I thought that was smart. Like, I wonder if somewhere, like, you know, if Tom Brady will have to fucking defend his touchdown title, like, in the afterlife or whatever the fuck. Like, I don't know. Like, it makes you wonder about who the greatest was. Or
what a fucking weirdo, Tom Brady.
Yeah, Tom Brady's fucking weird.
Everybody kissed his son like a weirdo.
Dude, fucking weirdo, bro. He doesn't even
he's
making out with his fucking son. He's fucking
what
weird.
is that?
I don't know,
fucking
dude.
Weird freak, bro.
We need
if I was ever on the NFL, like, against him, like a team against Jesus Christ. I don't follow NFL, so that's how much you know me. Oh, the Patriots, he's still there. Where the fuck where's he at now? The
Tampa Bay Bucks.
Is he the Bucks? Yeah, he's the Buccaneers. Fucking, I would just be talking shit on him. Be like, yeah, that's why you tongue kiss your kid, you fucking weirdo.
Dude, no, he needs like a Gilbert Gottfried rant. Like, that would be fucking hilarious if Gilbert Gottfried went off on him. And then this sick bastard kissed his son on the mouth. That would be fucking classic. Favorite episode is the one with the old man and the dog that almost go to hell but end up in heaven. John Steele, welcome to the stream. Number 1. Number 2, that's on the list. That is on the list. So we're going to get there.
You look like, if that's you in your picture, you look like Terror from the Wanderers, bro, but in shape.
Game of Fool is very underrated. I love how it's like this interesting deal with the devil.
That's what it is. It's a very like Dance with the Devil type shit. You know what is that song called? The Devil in His Fucking Dick or whatever it is. The country people do it.
That was definitely it. The Devil in His Dick. Other fave is the Midnight Sun. Love that one.
I was gonna put on my list that one, but I didn't. That one's fucking great. The Midnight Sun, dude.
It is. Midnight Sun's great. Like, that's one of those episodes you get fucking hot watching it. You're like, fuck, like that old bitch is drinking the fruit punch out of the can. I'm like, this
it makes you just want to pound water the whole time. You're just like drinking a gallon of water.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
The boxer episode with the little kid. Yes, Boley. He fucking wishes he doesn't get knocked out, and they reverse the finish. That's a really good one. That was like revolutionary at the time. I believe that was an all black cast episode of the Twilight Zone. Really? This is like the 1960s. So that was a really revolutionary episode of the time. Shook MK2, the button episode, really blew my head off. The button episode.
What the fuck is that? The button episode?
Is he talking about the 80s one, maybe?
I don't know.
Didn't the 80s Twilight Zone have the episode where it was like they get this box, and if they hit the button, somebody somewhere dies, and then like they become millionaires or something?
Isn't that the fucking Cameron Diaz movie?
Oh, that was the shitty remake. Yeah. What the fuck was that called?
I'm gonna look up. Hold on, because I really want to get to the fucking bottom of this real quick. I'm gonna look this up real quick.
I think wasn't it the guy that Donnie Darko made the shitty Cameron Diaz movie, and Frank Langella was in it for some reason with no face.
Yeah, he was the guy that fucking brought the buttons to the house. It's not a button at all. It's a button.
King Migor's in the house and he's dead. Oh shit. He's gonna smash someone with a pool stick. Yeah, no. Fucking holy shit. We had a
hold on. So when I looked this up, so that's from the Buttons, the second segment of the 20th episode from the first season of the television series Twilight. So it's from the
80s.
The 80s, yeah.
That's right. Okay. So that's what he was talking, I think.
And then hold on, because we're not fucked up here. We're not losing our minds here, Grande. Ready for this? The same short story forms the basis of the 2009 film where Frank Laganella and Cameron Diaz butt fucked the box.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Okay. So I remember that being shitty. The episode was good though. Oh shit, Dusty. Let me tell you, baby, we're going all night long with the bionic elbow. Yeah, no, baby. I've broken a pool stick over.
Yeah, I bet you have, Terror. How's the Fordham Baldies doing?
You ever boof a cue ball?
What's boof mean? Who is this boofer of a cue ball?
It depends on what a fucking boof is. I don't really know.
I mean, I think it's when you shove a pool ball off your ass.
I can't say I have.
And then you boof it out into a glass.
Did you use the chalk at least to boof it up your ass?
Does not come second. I'm sorry. I'll debate you right now. That the Wanderers is better than the Warriors.
Oh shit. We're about to.
Sorry.
We're going to the pool cues smashed over motherfuckers' heads. Oof, ball and a cue ball. That's a pain in the ass.
So we were right again. We were right again with the boof.
Oh, no.
That's it. Yes, that's it.
I was literally like 30 minutes behind. Oh, Corey was 30 minutes behind. Oh shit. Cameras, one where they're Oh, that's a really good. You ever see that one where it's they're three pieces of shit people, and like they find this camera that could take like the future, but it's like 5 minutes into the future. So they go to the fucking horse track and like take a picture of the board so they know what horse is gonna win. And they like become like millionaires. And then like at the end, they all fucking kill each other. It's so good, dude. It's like I don't know. It's like Reservoir Dogs, but if it was like Twilight Zone. I don't know how to explain it.
Awesome.
It's like a Mexican standoff without guns, though. I don't know how to explain it.
That's
great.
Amazing.
Yeah, no. I'm trying to catch up in the comments. There's a ton.
That's my wife.
Oh, really? Wifey, pretty sure Shook MK
is Ike. That's my buddy from the Navy. Yeah, that's my best buddy from the Navy. Shook MK, I guess. I don't know. She's saying that might be out. You got me. Yeah, there we go. Fuck you, Ike. Go suck
yeah, because I was gonna say I've never seen this name ever. I was like, I don't know who Shook MK2 is.
Can't get past me, boy. Hey, listen, I know this is a little unprofessional because we're live, but I have to take a piss.
That's okay, man.
And listen, you're a charisma guy. I can't even say the word. I'm going to fuck that word up. And also, I got something to show you guys when I come back in because the episode's going to get a lot better.
As long as it's not your dick, it's okay.
It might be my asshole.
Is there a cue ball in it or not?
I'm going to boof that motherfucker. I'll be right back.
Isn't there an evil doll? Yes, with fucking Telly Savalas. That's a great one, man. Talkie Tina, Living Doll, one of the best episodes of the fifth season. Really, really good one. We should do a vid where we debate Warriors Wanderers. We could do that. Absolutely, we could do that. John Steele, I don't know if you know, Will has a podcast, The Cabinet of Dr. Howdy. It's on. You can listen to it on Spotify. That's where I usually listen to it. It's really, really good stuff. They have a great show. Piss is permitted. Piss is permitted, but I don't think penis is. I don't know. Bumhole, he's going to show talking crusty. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I have no idea. Fucking, I'll tell you one thing. Will is a very charismatic guest. He's saying I'm charismatic. I thought I was crazy. This guy has some energy, man. He also has a fucking cool game chair, man. I'm fucking jealous. My fucking game chair is older than me, man. It's a fucking... You get fucking crippled in that fucking damn thing, man. The same color, but I don't know. It's not as good. Not as good in my opinion. Oh, hey, I've leave to take a shit. Well, I'm live sometimes multiple times, so you're good. Oh, cool. Okay. That's cool. Trenchy, by the way, I was playing Crash 4 before, and there was an episode called Stay Frosty. So that's really cool. That's my game chair. Oh, that is your game chair? Well, I'm jealous, okay? Because I have a shitty game chair. Oh, shit. What do you got, bro?
Kentucky bourbon.
Kentucky Fried Bourbon?
Yeah.
KFB?
Kentucky Fried Bourbon, baby.
Hell yeah,
That's how we do it on the Grande's Graveyard.
Original recipe or extra crispy?
I love extra crispy.
I love either. I'm easy to...
I'm going to be honest, dude, up the street from my work, they're actually building a KFC. I've had a KFC since I was a kid because it's so far. I used to have one up the street, and they fucking took it away from me. They put a Popeyes there, which I'm not mad about. Popeyes is good.
Fuck
it's
Chick-fil-A.
Delicious, right?
Chick-fil-A I don't like.
You don't like Chick-fil-A?
Chick-fil-A is for it's a bunch of overrated bullshit. Everybody, oh, Grande, you got to try Chick-fil-A. Everybody jacking each other off in a fucking semicircle.
I'm going to tell you right now.
The driest chicken sandwich with the slice of cheese they found on the sidewalk. Everybody, 13
you know what it is to me?
$75. And they gave me a side of fruit instead of French fries. I'm about to fucking stone cold stunner somebody. Fucking dick fillet. Fuck that shit.
Bro, you need to drive up to the Chick-fil-A drive-thru and act like Dusty Rhodes.
Baby, let me tell you something. You call this fried chicken? My daddy was a plumber. He had a fried chicken. We will have a golden time, baby. We made gold dust all night long, daddy. But it's just, I don't know, man. Popeyes, I love. The Colonel will always have my heart. Chick-fil-A is a bunch of bullshit.
Chick-fil-A is a chicken fillet that's dipped into pickle juice and put on a bun. That's what it tastes like to me. It's good, don't get me wrong, but it just tastes like a pickle chicken fillet. But anyway, KFC shut down. Haven't had it since I was a kid. It's opening up the street. I can't wait. I feel like Cartman in that South Park episode when he finds the fucking the KFC.
Yeah.
That's me right now when it's opening up. I'm so fucking excited. But where were we? We're going off topic a little bit here because I had to take a piss and I shit my pants a little bit.
You sharted? You sharted on the graveyard? That might be a first.
I shart all the time.
What? Not on my show. We don't shart.
I eat a lot of hot sauce. That's my thing. I love hot sauce, but when it gets down into that, lower region, I just shit my pants. So
Frank's hot sauce? What?
I might have Crohn's disease. I don't know.
Well, let's fucking hope not, man. Let's catch up the comments and we'll go off to the next part of the list. Another episode where they're all stuck inside. Once one of them gets out, you realize there's a great one in my top 10.
Awesome
5 characters search for an exit. LMAO. KY is the only place for bourbon. Oh, shit. Okay. That's it. Corey's a Kentucky native.
Yeah, so. Buffalo Trace, man.
Yeah. No. Dude, cool glass, by the way. That's pretty cool.
Oh, that's my wife. She's
he sharded in your chair. What the fuck? He admitted to it on camera. Chick-fil-A is ass. Losing KFC is crushing. Yeah, no, that's gotta suck. We have a bot. Moderators, throw this fucking bot out, please. Oh no, not KFC. No. Y'all are high as fuck. Chick-fil-A. Fuck Chick-fil-A. All right. When you give me fucking fruit over fries, you can go fucking.
Is that what you're mad about though? Are you mad about the?
I thought okay. I'm mad. It's like 3 things: the price, the dry chicken sandwich and fucking slice of cheese on the sidewalk, and the fact that I ordered fries that everybody in their mother told me, oh, they're great, and I got that special sauce, and they give me a bowl of fucking fruit. Do I look like a motherfucker who wants fruit with my chicken? I probably should have fruit with my chicken.
Who wants fruit with their chicken though?
Yeah, thank you.
Why do even
people have kale for fucking breakfast, man? Sorry.
I kind of agree. I'll be honest with you. You should probably give another Chick-fil-A a try though, because their sandwiches aren't dry.
Hey man, if you're buying, I'll do it. But otherwise,
I'll fucking cash app you the money right now to go get one.
Fool me once, shame on you. I don't want to lose this battle here.
Crown fried chicken is the shit.
Oh man, see, you got a bunch of them there. Everyone shits themselves sometimes. Yeah, no, we've all shit ourselves. My sister met Dusty Rhodes in high school. All she had was a report card. Apparently, she got a D, so he wrote D isn't for dandy and signed it. What the fuck? Wow, that's pretty cool. I thought you'd write D is for Dusty, baby.
Dude, your fucking impression's spot on. It makes me laugh every time.
There's certain people I could do perfect, man. Dusty's one of them. I love Dusty.
You sit in the mirror and do that? I would do that. If I could do that impression, I would just sit there. I would yell at my wife with that impression all day.
You yell. No, it's funny. It's like a lot of kids, people my age, they don't even know Dusty Rhodes. Like they all know Flair, but yeah. I do Dusty great. I love Flair, but man, Dusty is fucking hilarious.
Well, man. Flair got canceled, right? Well, not too long ago. He was whipping his dick in some airport girl's face or something, right?
He was like, they were all on the airplane and like it got delayed for like 17 hours or something crazy like that. And he started fucking strutting and like fucking his dick was all over this woman and fuck, man. And then she was like this British woman. She was like, well, I was having a problem with this. And I was like,
dude, I love that documentary. That series is so good. Dark Side of the Ring.
Dark Side of the Ring's great.
So good, dude. And
Jason Eisner too, who made Hobo
Jason Eisner, dude. Hobo with and Revenge, dude. That fucking movie's great.
Yeah, no, I love him, man. He's awesome. Missy, I wish I knew what happened. Report card. Wow, that's crazy. John Steele asked if you have a YouTube. He's asking if you have. I said you had Spotify.
We have a. You can follow me at the Cabinet of Dr. Howdy on Instagram, and I'm on like Spotify, Apple, Google, all that other dumb shit. But eventually we'll get a YouTube, but who knows when that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like Corey's been telling me, oh, do Spotify. I'm like, I don't know. Right now I like doing YouTube, man. I don't have time to edit, like you were saying, like Jeff edits all your stuff. For me, it's tough. Playing Live from Hell is classic. Yes, it is. John Perner, welcome to the stream, brother. But whose were we on?
Yours.
Mine.
We did the game of pool.
Okay. So mine's next. Let's get the list of fuck up. The next one may just be the scariest episode of the entire series, in my opinion. A good horror one. And an episode that I think inspired a later horror franchise to take flight.
My dick is hard right now.
22. My dick is hard too.
Oh, there we go.
22 coming in at the number 4 slot. This is a really cool episode. This basically tells the story of, they don't say it in the episode because it was the 60s, but she's a fucking stripper. All right. The stripper, she's having like mental problems. She's in this hospital, and every night she has this dream where she drops this glass of water. She goes down into the fucking morgue, and this creepy nurse in room 22 opens the door, and she'll say, "Room for one more, honey." And this fucking lady screams, goes up the elevator, and every night she's having this nightmare. She's telling her psychiatrist, which is the guy from fucking Lost in Space, who looks like a fucking pedophile, but he's in this episode, really cool actor. And basically the whole episode is dream sequences, and is she dreaming this? Is she not? And man, it's really creepy. This is one of the 6 that was shot with the like camcorder because they were trying to cut budget. Of course, Night of the Meek was shot this way. Static was shot this way. Lateness of the Hour. Like, these are the ones that were shot to save budget. This is the one where it benefits the most because it gives it that gritty, dreamsicle. Like, it's like a Dario Argento film if it was shot with like a fucking, if you wiped your ass with the film print or something. It looks so dirty. And it's scary, man. And the ending, I think, totally inspired Final Destination.
Yes!
Spoiler alert if you haven't.
Thank you said that.
The ending, and spoiler alert, but the ending is she gets out of the hospital. It's all a dream. It's all a dream. She gets to go on this flight, and who else but the lady from room 22, room for one more, honey. She's the flight attendant, and she runs off the plane, and she's like, "Oh my god, oh my god!" And they're like, "Calm down, calm down." The fucking plane takes off and blows up. Mm-hmm. And she knew it was like her premonition. I think Final Destination completely ripped that off.
Absolutely.
And I don't know, man. I love this episode. What do you think, though?
Dude, the episode is fucking super good. And the thing is, I am totally afraid of flying. I hate flying. So we were talking earlier, I was stationed in Japan. That's like a fucking 17-hour flight. I was scared shitless the whole 17 hours. So every time I fly, I think of 2 episodes. This one, and I think of the William Shatner, Nightmare at 22,000 feet or whatever the hell it is. And I think Twilight Zone really fucked me up as a kid for flying. That's my root cause. That's my trauma for not wanting to get into a plane. But no, the episode is very, like you were saying, Argento atmosphere, the way it was filmed. It's definitely an underrated one. You don't hear about it too much. And shout out to Jeff. When I was talking to Jeff, I was like, you want to hop on? What kind of episodes do you want to talk about if you were to hop on? That was the one he wanted to talk about, was 22. He said, oh yeah, that one's so fucking good. So I did. I totally agree. That's an underrated one. More people need to fucking give that a little love. And Final Destination either paid homage, like someone like, he was a full lover of that episode, or, he was just like, I'm going to rip this motherfucker off because no one watches the Twilight Zone, like a jerk off, but.
And it's one that's, again, like, that's why I'm happy we're talking about these, like, more underrated ones. It's one nobody ever really talks about. Like, people come up to you and be like, oh man, have you seen the one where they have pig faces? Like, that's always the motherfucker in the back of the room that comes up to talk to you about Twilight Zone. But I'm like, nobody talks about this one. This one scares the shit out of me. Like, I think it's just so well directed and acted, and that twist at the end, it gets me, man. And I honestly think Final Destination, they did a good job with taking a concept that had been done and doing more with it, making a feature film out of it. And like, I think it's a good, people get angry, oh, it ripped this off. I think it's a good rip off of it, if anything. But
there's definitely good rip offs. I hate when people say, oh, rip offs are bad. Like, oh, you ripped them off. Well, if it's a good rip off, why is everyone arguing?
100%. Like, no, and funny enough, if you ever seen the first Final Destination, you'll notice the airport is JFK Airport. That I've been on 3 or 4 flights in my life. All of them left from JFK Airport. That's the one by me because it's that film.
How sweaty palmed were you from there,
bro? I was scared shitless. I was like, yo, like, fuck my life. This is gonna be how it all goes down. So
I could only imagine either because like I told you, I fucking hate flying. And if I saw that movie and had to go to that airport, I would have to at least rub at least 2 or 3 out in the bathroom to get my fucking stress levels down and then go on the plane.
The mile high by yourself club.
Yeah, I like to wipe my babies on the fucking seats as they go by. But
distribute the wealth.
It's my stress relief.
Jesus
Christ.
Christ.
What was that movie? The Squid and the Whale with Jeff Daniels. The kid used to jerk off in his hand and put it on his locker and shit.
Wasn't it fucking Jesse Eisenberg too?
Yes. And that rolls into my next episode actually.
Jesse Eisenberg has a do tell.
Ready for this? So Jesse Eisenberg was in a movie from the girl with the green room. What's her name? Poots? Amugia
Poots. Yeah.
Yeah. Vivarium. Have you ever seen Vivarium?
I have not seen it, but I did see the trailer. Yes,
really cool movie, man, and it's definitely influenced by this episode I'm about to talk about. Vivarium. Look it up to what it's about. I thought it was a really cool movie. My wife actually showed me, and at first I was like, my wife has a different tinge on horror and sci-fi than I do. I like the dumb hardcore shit, and she likes more atmosphere and dialogue, and I'm like that too, but she's not into the crazy shit. But this episode, it was season 5, episode 30. I wrote this all down because I'm very, very, very professional. Grande. April 24th, 1964. Stop over in a quiet town. So this film is almost just like Vivarium. Not exactly like it, but it definitely paid homage or ripped it off. So it's about two young couple. They wake up, they're hungover, they're fucked up still, right? And I can relate to this. I'm like, I've been there before, I'm gonna be there tomorrow morning. Who knows what's gonna happen to me after this episode? They wake up and they're like, where the fuck are we? What's going on? And they don't know what's happening. So the male of the group is obviously trying to make the female, a little bit more calm. She's a little bit more, oh, what the fuck? What's happening? I swear I drove home. And he's like, oh, there's going to be bacon and eggs downstairs. I guarantee someone brought us in our house. It's not a big deal. So they go downstairs. There's no one there. And they're like, what the fuck is happening? So it turns out this whole town is like a fake town. There's like fake grass, fake trees, fake bushes, everything's fake. And it's claustrophobia. That's what it is. It feels like you're just in a fishbowl. And later on, you find out because you hear that at this point, they're freaking the fuck out. They're screaming at each other. They don't know what's going on. They hear a train and they're so happy. I feel so bad for them because they're like, a fucking train's here. Yay. So they go on the train and they're like, this is the best train I've ever seen in my life. And it goes around the track and goes back to the same town. And then they fucking are sitting there like, what is going on? And they keep hearing a child laughing throughout the whole film, the whole TV episode. And at the end, you see a hand, like a shadow, come down and grab them. It turns out it's this giant alien creatures that abducted them for play toys. They're toys. And I fucking loved it. So I remember when I watched Vivarium, I was like, this is a more intricate movie from this episode here. And that's the thing about Twilight Zone is people are still ripping off and paying homage to Twilight Zone to this day because it's such an influential show, dude. And this one was from Earl Hammer Jr. I wish that was my last name, Hammer. I'd be a porn star, bro. Are you kidding me? Jesus Lord. He also wrote another really good one that I'm going to talk about after Grande. But yeah, so that one is fucking amazing. And if you haven't seen Vivarium, watch it and watch that episode right afterwards. It's a great companion piece to everything. So you like that one, man? I love that one. And that's I really want to see Vivarium now because I love that episode. And it's funny. I believe Barry Nelson is the star. Barry Nelson was also in The Shining. He's the guy that tells Jack Nicholson he's the whole interview guy. So it's cool to see him in something else. Oh shit, he is. Yeah, it's Barry Nelson, bro. He's a dick in The Shining.
Bro, it's crazy. No, it's crazy, but I agree with you. I think the best thing about this episode is just the build. And every now and again, there's hope. Oh, do you hear that's the church bells? And they run to the church, and there's nobody in the church on a Sunday morning. Fuck. Well, maybe they're all Jewish. It's fucking they keep trying to rationalize what's going on, and there really is no rationalizing.
the one part that makes me really feel bad for him because the girl starts really breaking down, and he's like, well, maybe there's a wedding happening, and they're bringing up these fake trees and fake grass just to make a great picture. Like, he's trying so hard to calm her down.
Exactly.
He knows it puts you in a stressful environment. Like, I wouldn't recommend watching it high, or would I? You know, smoke a bone and watch this one, because you're going to be sitting there like you're going to feel like it's almost like you're in a snow globe. You know what I mean? Like, you're
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's no way out, and you're stuck in this fake fucking oh man.
They find all the fake, like, stale, like, stage bread in the fridge, and the phone's not connected, and you keep hearing this laugh, and you're just like, fuck. Like, and I always thought the craziest thing too after was like the ending. And Daddy brought them all the way from Earth, and I was like, "Oh, you fucking bitch!" Like,
I love the special effects for the time too. The hand with the you know what I mean? How they did it with the fucking big screen and the hand there and everything like that. So it's definitely an episode for its time. I recommend it fully. It's phenomenal. That was a last ditch effort actually, because we were talking earlier, and I was like, I want to get something that I feel like people haven't seen. And I was like, I was going through episodes, and I'm like, yo, this one right here, bro. Like, this is the one. So
yeah, no, that's a great pick. I love that one. And it's one, like, you're right. Nobody really talks about it. It was one of the last like 6 or 7 episodes of the show. So I don't know, it gets lost in the shuffle, but it is a great one. I missed a ton of them. I'm sorry if I missed your comment, please comment again. Nick of Time with Shatner is up there for me. That's a top 10 for me. That's my favorite one with Shatner as well. I love that. They're in the diner. Really, really cool one. Great episode. Lou Hammer for the win. Oh, God. Not the hammer. Haven't seen this one either. We'll have to check it out. No, totally do, because this is a really good episode, I think, in my opinion. But on to my next pick. Let's see. Bring up the list of fuck here. Okay. Next one up. The list of fuck.
I love that.
Next one up here. This is another one I think is super underrated. I don't know if you said you were one positive you had seen this before, but this is a really creepy one to me. This is Come Wander With Me. Yes.
I'm excited for this. I feel like I have seen it, and I want you to tell more about it.
Sure. Season 5, episode 34. I do know this was the last episode of the series ever filmed. Now, it didn't air last, but it was filmed last. And there's a lot of Easter eggs in this episode if you watch closely. Like, it basically tells the story of Floyd Burney, he's one of Bing Crosby's sons. I think it's fucking Gary Crosby, or I forget, but it's one of his sons, one of the fucking kids he abused. I don't know. He plays Floyd Burney, and he's like this rockabilly shitty singer. He stumbles upon this like small town, and he's trying to buy a song. He wants to buy a hit. And he hears this woman, this beautiful woman played by Bonnie Beecher, who actually in real life went on to marry Wavy Gravy, which is weird, but it's like one of her only acting credits is this episode. She had a beautiful voice. He hears this woman singing this mysterious song in the woods. And this entire episode, he kind of goes and finds her. They sing together, and he wants the song. He wants her. And basically, this one is just a lot of shit hits the fan. It's not a very coherent Twilight Zone episode, and that's what I like about it. See, a lot of people, when it comes to the Twilight Zone, they get a simple sort of formula, twist ending and coherency, and maybe a point, psychology. There's a lot to be found. This episode, it's like nothing you've ever seen before with this particular series. It's directed by fucking Richard Donner, who, of course, went on to make the Goonies, the Superman films. I mean, we love Richard Donner. The guy's great. He brings a great atmosphere and aesthetic to this episode. It just makes it really creepy in the woods, and this creepy song of Come Wander With Me. I don't know if you ever heard the song. Listen to the song, man. It is haunting stuff. Really creepy. It creeps you out, and it just goes off the fucking rails towards the end, like where I honestly don't understand the episode to this day. I don't really know what the meaning is. But man, it's a really fucking good one. It fucks with me. I think you should totally see it, because it's a really like a mind fuck episode.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to definitely check it out. It seems like an episode where I'm gonna have to once again smoke a bone and take a look at it. It sounds so fucking familiar though. That's the thing. So like I'm thinking like I have seen it. I just haven't seen it in a while. And that's the thing with Twilight Zone. Like I was saying before, everything kind of meshes, and you're like, did I see that one? I might have. Oh, I did see that one. You know what I mean? So like, it's just wild. But It sounds really good. I'm definitely gonna have to. That's probably that, and the number 12. I'm gonna have to check it out after this.
Yeah, no, please do, because this is one. It's funny. I've showed it to a lot of people, and like they're immediately like, "That's nothing like the rest of these," and they like it because of that. I think at the time people were like, "What the fuck is this?" You know, because it wasn't. It's definitely more along the lines of like what the Twilight Zone became in the '80s, or even maybe a Tales from the Crypt. Like it's very abstract. It's like an abstract episode, but if you appreciate the art of it, it can really. I mean, it just blows my mind when I think about it. It's a really good one, man.
I was
never predict where it's going. Like it's good.
I was reading the synopsis, like I said, on Wikipedia. That's what kind of joggled my mind. I'm like, I think I've seen this before, but it sounds amazing. So I'm gonna have to fucking hit it up like ASAP.
Totally.
I'm gonna be honest with you. The next one I'm about to hit up. If you got a dog, hug him right now.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
So I watched this one. I've seen this a while ago, right? So this is one of the ones that I didn't grow up with it, but I've seen it as it plays on like the New Year's Eve marathon. It's season 3, episode 19, The Hunt. And it's also written by Earl Hammer. It came out January 26, 1962. This is a episode where you're going to hug your dog and just like nibble his ear and kiss him and love everything about him. Because I literally watched this 2 days ago just to get it like reacquainted with myself. And I was snuggling with my dog. I have a pit bull. I was just snuggling with my pit bull in my fucking bed afterwards. Like, you're a good boy, Rip. You're a real good boy. But the synopsis of this one is it's basically a hillbilly guy. His name's what is his name? Fucking Hyder Simpson. I wrote it down. Hyder Simpson. How hillbilly can you get right there, right? So he has a coonhound named Rip. Actually, not a coonhound. It's a blue tick hound. My dad corrected me today because he's a dog guy. He's like, that's a blue tick hound right there. My dad's not from the South, but he lives in Vermont now, so I give him that voice like, that's a blue tick hound. That ain't a coonhound, boy. That's a blue tick coonhound. Duh, duh, duh. But fucking anyway, they love each other. They fucking love each other. And the wife, she get that dog out of here. He's like, anywhere I go, Rip goes. I love that. Anywhere I goes. And that's how it is. My wife loves my dog, right? She loves my dog. She loves Monty, but she's not a dog person. And you'll hear every once in a while, like, get that dog out of here. I'm like, anywhere he goes, I go. That's how me and Monty are. So anyway, he goes on a raccoon hunt. And I didn't know this. I asked my dad about this. So the raccoon jumps into the water at one point. And the dog jumps in too. And then all of a sudden it seems like the raccoon's drowning the dog. That's something they do, supposedly. Raccoons are no fucking joke, bro.
Fuck.
Yeah, they're crazy. So he sees his dog like getting killed, basically. So my man, hillbilly boy, jumps into the water. And he fucking dies, right? You don't know he dies right away. They come out of the water, him and the dog, and they're just wet. And they're walking through town. And I love that scene where the guys are digging the grave. And he's like, it's just a fucking dog. Who cares? Da, 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 da. And, you're sitting there. You're kind of like, what? You know what's going on. But at the same time, you're kind of just going with the play of things. And you find out that they both died, And he goes to his memorial service kind of up the hill, and that's the hill to heaven, kind of. They're going up. There's no way to get into the graveyard. He goes up there, and all of a sudden he hits this not a dead end, but there's a gate there. There's this like weird looking motherfucker, and he's just like, hey, what's going on? How's it going? You want to come out here? This is heaven. He's basically ploying them into going to heaven, and he tells him Rip's not allowed. I'm not going to go. And I think he says something like, somewhere where a dog's not allowed to go. It's too fancy. I don't want to go either. Like, that's my boy. Rip's he rides with Rip the whole fucking time.
Hell yeah.
Awesome. He's like, I'm not going to fucking heaven if he's not allowed. Go fuck yourself. That's what he tells him. And the guy's like, the guy gets real fucking creepy. Like, he's like, come on, man. Well, I'll take Rip up the street. Come on, you got to go down here. Go down yonder.
He's like, I'll give him to you through the fence. Like,
yeah. He's like,
slimy bastard.
I'll cut the fence open and put him through, and you and Rip this, that, and the third. And fucking, he's just sitting there like, yeah, man, I'm not about that life. I'm leaving. I'm gonna keep walking up the hill. Fuck you. So he keeps walking up the hill, and eventually the guy's old and he's dead. So he fucking just, he sits down on a bench, or not a bench, like a fucking rock. What am I saying? A bench for? And he's just sitting there with his boy, and he's just sitting. It's kind of a boring episode if you think about it. It's just, if you have a dog, though, it's not boring at all. And he's just sitting there like, yeah, Rip, what's going on, brother? And fucking all of a sudden, this guy comes out of nowhere, and he's like, hey, are you so-and-so, fucking, what's his name, Earl? Or not Earl, Jesus Christ, Hyder Simpson and Rip? And he's like, yeah, I'm Hyder Simpson and Rip. How the fuck do you know, buddy? Are you the devil? You trying to fuck me over again and not let Rip in? He starts fighting him. He pulls a knife out, stabs him in the neck. I'm kidding. This doesn't happen in the episode at all. Anyway, it turns out the guy's an angel, and the guy down at the mountain turns out to be the devil. And he says, I want you to say, because I didn't memorize it, but you said it earlier. Go.
He says, like, a man will walk into hell with both eyes open, but not even the devil can fool a dog. And it's fucking great. Like, people probably go, like, but I remember when I first saw this, I was like, that's fucking awesome. Like, this,
amazing.
And he says something along the lines, he's like, oh, Rip would have smelled the brimstone and he would have warned you, And I was like, yo, what? Like, that's fantastic. And I like, he says, well, if you're an angel, where's your wings? And the angel goes, I appreciate walking myself. And they just kind of walk off, and like, it's fucking great, man. Like, what
I love the ending banter too. Like he was like, is there a lot of coon hunts up here? And he's like, we got one at 12 o'clock tonight, you and Rip. And he's like, all right, thanks a lot. And then the best part, it's like a really sentimental part, but like he's like talking about his wife. He's like, when my wife goes, is she gonna get tricked by this guy? Is she gonna go to hell? Is she gonna get tricked? And the guy tells her, he's like, no, I already can see it. She's not going to get tricked. She's going right to heaven herself. And it's just a heartwarming episode. And it makes you want to hug your dog. Or your cat. Even if you had a cat. I feel like a cat might be a little bit more cunty, but it would save you from hell.
No, I agree with you completely. It's a nice heart. It has just a nice heart to it. Like, and you're right. Like, when you were saying, like, when you think about it, it's not much to the episode. It's like, you're right. Like, old man and dog go coon hunting, die. Don't realize they've died, walk along, get teased to hell, go to heaven. That's it. But
that's it.
It is great. It really is. Like, I love the message. Not that the devil can't fool a dog, man. A man's best friend is truly that. And like, I don't know. I really like that, man. Oh, John Steele says the cat would lead you straight to hell. Oh, shit.
Let's go. Come on. Let's do cocaine. That'd be my cat. Let's go do cocaine down hell. Come on. Brimstone.
Brimstone. Dead Central's in the house. Yo, dudes, I never watched the series, but you are the best to tempt me. Excellent. Great. Hopefully we do.
That's crying. That's a sad episode. It's a sad episode.
It's a good one, man. I really appreciate you thinking of The Hunt, because it was one where I was like, I always liked it. And I'm like, I was so thrilled when you were like, bro, that one. And I was like, yes. And I saw John Steele mentioned it. So definitely picked the banger, man. I love The Hunt. That's totally a great underrated Twilight Zone episode. Everybody needs to watch that shit ASAP, man.
Yeah, please do. It's on what? Twilight Zone, you can get most shit on YouTube, like streaming and shit, but you can get a Paramount Plus. I think
it's on Paramount Plus, or you could pick up this illustrious Blu-ray box set, which all the fucking episodes, and it's amazing, and I love it.
Where'd you get that at?
I actually got it on Amazon. So I forget what the day is, but there's a National Twilight Zone Day, and the box set goes cheap that one day out of the year. So I got it for like $40.
Ah, fuck yeah, dude.
I forget what day it is, but if it happens and I think of it, I'll promise I'll send it to you so you can get it for cheap, because it's well worth the $40. And it still looks great. I mean, all of these were pretty much shot on film, so they all look really good in Blu-ray. So I mean, I don't know. Definitely, they benefit from the transfer.
You got one left, right?
Yeah, I got one left, and then the one we have in common.
The one we're gonna go off of though is such a shitty one to lead off with. It's so depressing. But go with yours.
Do you want to do the one we had in common?
No, I want to fuck everybody up.
All right. Okay. Fair enough. Okay. My next one, which I did have at number one, I can't lie. This was my number one because I've literally, aside from just a small handful of people, have never heard anybody mention this episode, and I love it. And partially, I think it's because this is from the fourth season. The fourth season, if you're not a fan of the show, they switched from the half-hour time format to the hour-long format, and it was terrible. I mean,
real quick, I'm sorry to cut you off. I forgot what your last one was. I'm so excited what you're about to say. Keep going.
Yes, no. So the fourth season was pretty much a mess. I mean, that's the season 5. They switched back, and then they had to cancel the whole thing because the ratings were in the drain, unfortunately. So season 4, I kind of blame for the show ending as early as it did. Although go out on top, at least that's how I look at it. Coming in here, though, this is the new Exhibit. Yes, starring fucking Martin Balsam, who I love, of course. You know, horror fans remember from Psycho. Guy gets stabbed and falls down the steps. He's also in movies like On the Waterfront back in the day. Love Martin Balsam, usually like a side character actor. He's also in like Taking a Pelham 1, 2, 3. Love Martin Balsam. Good. He gets to be the lead here as this guy who is a sort of like tour guide in this wax museum that features all of these like classic serial killers like Jack the Ripper. And, you know, they go right down the line between all of them. Honestly, I don't know as much about serial killers. So off the top of my head, I don't remember like each one they go through. But Jack the Ripper's the main one I remember. Yeah. And he's so into the job. He loves the job. He's almost a little bit too into it. The day ends and this boss goes, hey, listen, buddy, I'm sorry, but I can't afford to keep us open anymore. We're going to have to close down. A supermarket's coming in to take over here. And Martin Balsam's crushed. Oh my God, this job is my life. You can't do this. And he says, listen, there's nothing I can do. He goes, what if I took the figures home and kept care of them? So he takes the wax museum figures home, air conditioned in the basement. And it's all of these serial killer wax museum figures in his basement. And slowly but surely they start to come alive at nighttime and they murder his fucking wife. They start murdering people left and right, and he has to...
Only when provoked.
Yes.
Right?
Only when provoked. Yes. Only when this bitch is trying to do laundry next to Jack the Ripper. And they're getting killed, and Martin Balsam's hiding the murders by, like, burying the bodies in the basement. Really, like, what a great idea, because it's like the Twilight Zone, you wouldn't think slasher. But this is sort of the closest the Twilight Zone ever got to a slasher episode. I mean, there are people that get fucking strangled, stabbed. This is this kind of episode. And man, it's creepy. The wax museum figures, they look fucking real. And they're played by real actors, obviously, when they come to life. And just the way this escalates is fantastic. And the ending always sticks with me. Of course, Martin Balsam, they open a new factory, and Martin Balsam is the head serial killer in the wax.
Yeah,
has
dude.
this double. Smiling, fucking
twist.
great. Like I remember, I was like, "Why do people not talk about that one, man?" What are your thoughts on this one? Because I love it.
So like my first introduction was kind of late in the game. I never watched it when I was a kid or a teenager, but it was probably about 2 or 3 years ago. I remember going through the Twilight Zone episodes because originally it was on Netflix, I think, before Paramount Plus.
Yes.
And I remember seeing like almost an hour, like 45 minutes to 55 or something like that. It's a long ass episode for Twilight Zone, right?
Yes.
So I was like, holy shit, like this has to be good, right? It's a long ass episode. So I hit it and I'm fucked up. I start watching it. And at first, I'm kind of like in and out, like drifting off. And now all of a sudden I start getting like, what's going on? I'm like, this is good. And then it starts the killing. And like you said, it's a slasher. It's a slasher episode. And I'm sitting there like, this is amazing. Like, we talk about extreme horror. This was extreme horror for the time.
Yeah.
For a television show.
If I saw this in 1963, I would have shit myself.
Dude, like, holy shit. Yeah, I would have been like, what the fuck is going on? And then the one thing that comes to my mind is imagine if the 80s did a remake with like he got caught later on, but like imagine the 90s. John Wayne Gacy, Jeffrey Dahmer. Like, imagine a remake of this.
It would be great.
Insane.
And I would be all for it.
I almost want to just like get a budget and direct a remake of this right now.
Bro, as long as I get to be one of the wax figures, I'm so down.
I will let you. Let me look at you real quick.
You see Dahmer?
How big are you?
6 foot, 205 pounds of twisted steel and sex appeal, and T-bone steaks and chocolate cakes.
Ed Kemper.
Not really, no. Mountain Dew.
I'll give you stilts. You'll get like 6'5", get that 200 in you. You're Ed Kemper. That's what you're gonna be.
Kemper,
AJ,
I changed my name.
Listening, you're John Wayne Gacy. Go fuck yourself. You want to make fun of me earlier?
No. Oh my God.
But no, that would be a wild. Imagine that though, like a revision of that, like with actual like modern serial killers. That'd be crazy, bro. But it's a slasher episode, and it's so fucking cool, man. And I love that ending, like you said, that twist of like he's the main serial killer. He killed his wife. He killed his boss. He killed it, and he's just sitting. And I love it. And when you told me you were talking about it today, that was going to be on my list, and I was like, "Fuck, I got to get something different though," because I want to put a little different flavor there. But like, I was so happy you were talking about it. So that's a great episode. I recommend watching that one. After this, if anyone's going to watch anything after this, watch that one right now, the new exhibit.
I agree. That was number one because I feel like no one ever talks about that one, and I really do think it's because of the 4th season. There's so many episodes that people forget. Like there's one with James Whitmore that's really good. It's like I think it's called On Thursday We Leave for Home. That's another really good one. The 4th season occasionally had a good one, but it's lost in the shuffle. Like that whole season, people forget. And the hour long, it didn't fit this show particularly well, in my opinion. I grew up knowing about Twilight Zone, but don't really remember watching. I'll have to. Hey, Miss C, tomorrow, Sci-Fi Channel, New Year's Eve marathon. We're doing this. So if you're interested, you can watch a bunch of them. Murderer's Row. Yes, absolutely. John's knowledge is drip. Dude, God bless you, Dead Central, man. Good to see you back on here, man. I knew you had taken a sort of hiatus, man. Good to see your name again. Aubrey, who's new to the show, and that's a lovely picture.
Yeah, what's going on there?
I actually really love season 4, and this one you're talking about is so great. I also love Jezebel. That's isn't that with Anne Francis and like she turns into like a fucking like panther or something? That's a crazy episode. That's a good one. Yeah. I was gonna say Kemper. Okay, so we got some frame grind. Yo, hell yeah, man. I Dream of Jeannie. Fuck, I don't remember that. That's with like I think that was with fucking Jack Albertson, I think, right? And he's like the guy from fucking Willy Wonka, I think. Grandpa Joe. I don't know. I could be wrong on that. Season 4 is a blur. I don't know, man.
It's a wild season.
It is, yeah, but sometimes it'd be a little bit dull. But I don't know. Aubrey likes it, so I don't know. It's some people that like season 4. People have told me season 5 is the worst. I don't agree, but yeah, no. I guess this brings us to the final arc, the episode we have in common here.
Here it is.
Oh, hell yeah, go for it, brother.
It's a hard one, man. It's hardcore as fuck.
It's horror done right, man. It really is. This is a horror episode.
So this one, me and Jeff, we actually just did a Video Nasty episode. And a lot of Video Nasties are Nazi exploitation films, right?
Love Camp 7.
Love Camp 7, Gestapo's Last Orgy, The Beast and Heat. We talk about all those. And this is not exploitation, but it's in the realm of the Nazi thing. And it's Death Head Revisited. Fucking season 3, episode 9 aired November 10th, 1961. Jesus fucking Christ.
Touchy subject.
Yeah. It's a hard one. And it's not even, it's touchy, but at the end of it, you're like, fuck yeah, fuck them. But It's basically about a fucking, like a commanding officer of a concentration camp who's been hiding out in the South America, probably. I would think South America, right? He comes back to his concentration camp that he was in charge of, and he's a fucking asshole. Like, just the biggest sadistic asshole ever. Like, he's like laughing, walking around. He's revisiting this concentration camp.
His glory days.
It's so eerie, man.
Yeah.
And one of my things I really do want to do, like, I want to go to those areas and like in Europe. I heard it's just like the most eerie shit ever. I'm a World War II buff, like historian buff with that type of stuff. So I would love to go visit that because like I heard I've actually talked to people that like went to Auschwitz and stuff like that, like where they said it was just like this the atmosphere is just like depressing and like you feel it. And then in this episode they push it like that, like you feel when he walks into those gates, it's just like, oh my God, I can't even. It gives me chills when he walks into those gates. It's just like a very weird feeling, and he's a cocksucker. And he's a Nazi. Obviously, he's a cocksucker, and he's laughing, like thinking about torturing people and shit. And then out of nowhere, I love that eerie thing where like out of nowhere, boom, the camera moves and there's a guy there, and it turns out to be one of his prisoners, right? And he says he's like, what is he? He's like the he's the innkeeper of that camp, correct?
Yes.
And from there, you come to find something's going on. Just like every Twilight Zone episode, you're like, something's going on here. I don't know what's happening, but you're happy whatever's going on because you're like, this guy's a cocksucker he deserves to die, right? So it turns out that, history gets revenge. That's what it turns out. The Jewish prisoners all come out. And that's the thing, like in these places, a lot of people say, like, I don't believe in ghosts and shit like that, but I believe in like energy and shit like that. Like all that negative energy came out for this dude. And he gets put on trial. And
that trial scene, bro, to me, it's like the highlight. They do this great shot where you're on trial now. And they all like get out of these bunk beds. And they do this amazing like pan shot of the entire room. And like all of their faces and how skinny and beaten and disheveled. Holy shit. It's a horrifying shot. Like, you're just like, oh my God, look at all of the pain and misery this fucking bastard has caused these people. And now he's the one on trial. And man, like that scene is just, it's so well done, man. Like you get that energy, like you said, it's great.
I feel like we shouldn't even talk too much more about it just because it's like, you have to watch it. You have to watch this episode to really like get the feeling of this episode.
And you get the feeling. I mean, when it gets towards the end, you literally can like almost feel the pain of what's going on. I won't go too far, but I will. If we're not going to spoil the ending, which is fine.
I feel like this is one you don't want to spoil.
Yes, I do have a question.
One, it's been out for obviously so long, but it's one of the ones where you're just like, you know what? You gotta watch it. You just have to. It's just it's a great revenge horror episode.
Forgive me. This was Rod Serling, right? Rod Serling.
It was.
Okay. What do you think about the final? Because obviously Twilight Zone's always had the intro and 36-year-old man, occupation, whatever. He always had an outro too. I think this is the best outro of any of them, and it's something I definitely want to run by you. He says there's a doctor, and he basically says, why do we let, the Auschwitzes, the Dachau's, this is one is Dachau. Why do we let them stand? And the episode pans out, and you hear Rod Serling, say there's an answer to the doctor's question. They must all stand forever because it's a reminder when men tried to turn the world into a graveyard. Which
I have that written down, dude.
That, to me, it's the best outro in the series because I agree with it wholeheartedly. I don't know how you feel, and granted, like I think, is it terrible? It's one of the most terrible things in humanity history. But I agree with the point. Like, yeah, it's a reminder of how fucked up those times were, and like it's terrifying, man. It's really good.
Well,
stuff.
Yeah, that's my thing. Like for Steph, definitely like going into history and stuff like that. Like you can't tear down something like that because as much as it's a reminder of pain, it's a reminder how shitty humanity can be. And I had that written down. Some men decided to treat the earth as a graveyard, and I thought that was good just because Grande is graveyard.
Yeah, really.
But yeah, man, that outro is so real. And Rod Serling, he like I said, he had a lot of all his episodes were social commentary. Most of his episodes were social commentary, and yeah, man, it's just a gut punch of an episode. To be honest with you, it's definitely on for when it came out. When did it come out? Fucking
63, you said. Or I think
was it 63 or 61? Whatever.
60, yeah,
whatever
maybe
fucking
61.
was.
I don't remember.
That's pretty extreme too, man. Like that was in your face shit.
And it was only how many years removed, right? Like what, 16 years from 45? So that's not even that long removed from it. Like we could still watch it in 2021. 60 years from when it aired and still be fucking appalled by it. This was more recent at that time. So it's like, I love in the beginning, he's checking into this like local motel and he's like a concentration camp. Like he's getting off on it. And the woman at the fucking front desk is like, you sick pig. Like you can see she's like this slimy bastard, man. It's such a good setup.
She like reads right through him in the beginning, dude. And like, another cool, we're talking about like kind of like remakes if it was to happen. Another cool one would be like a fucking Native American type ground. Imagine like one of them, like someone revisits like a fucking Colonel Custard revisits like a battleground. and then gets torn. Imagine that. Like, that'd be a cool idea.
Do you think? See this particular one. I don't even think you could remake this now. I think people would fucking freak out. To be honest, what do you think?
They would freak out, but that's the thing. That's the whole thing. Like, at the time when people watched it, they probably did freak out. They were like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" Like, that's the best part of horror. It's like, that's my favorite part of horror. Is like people can freak out and be like, "This is an untouchable subject," but I'm intrigued. I'm going to keep watching. You know what I mean? That's the whole thing. Because like genocide makes the world go round. Unfortunately,
yeah.
You know,
you're right.
So like the whole thing is like Native Americans. They were genocide. You know, they got killed on their own land. You know, the Jewish people during World War II, and fucking there's multiple other people, other ethnicities that were destroyed, and that episode just rolls right into all that. You know what I mean? It's just such a good episode. I feel like more people need to give that one love. And that was another one, Jeff. You know, he's here in spirit. Jeff definitely was like Death Head Revisited, dude. Like that's one of my favorites.
That one and the new exhibit were the first two that came to my mind when I was thinking underrated. I was like, these two don't get enough love, and I think they're both masterpieces. And then the other three, it was definitely more like personal preference, but I think all five are, and I think both our lists, these are episodes that people really should see. Like they all,
Yeah.
You know, like I highly recommend. I think these are great. John Steele mentions the seventh is made up of phantoms. That's funny because I was going to say that too. There is an episode of the Twilight Zone with Custer's Last Stand. I don't know if you've seen that one.
Oh, there is. Yeah, Custer's Last. I remember that one. Yeah,
that's the name of it. It's like the three guys, and like at the end they're in the like one of them gets shot with an arrow, and you're like, "Fuck!" And their names are on the memorial. Yeah. That's a great one, man. Nobody talks about that one. It's another underrated one. Good pick, man. Is that Varg?
Varg.
I don't know. That's a Cannibal Holiday. Oh, dude. Yeah, no, it is.
Yeah, Paul Bearer Press. The best horror merch ever.
Dude, I love Paul Bearer Press. I got the House by the Cemetery shirt they did.
Oh, yeah, dude. Did you get the fucking tie-dye looking one?
No. It's the little girl in the window, and it's fucking amazing. It's the house. It's all.
I know you're talking about. Yeah.
It's a good one, man.
Nice one.
He was in, yes, that's true. That's right. Still here. There was a custom stand-up. Okay, yeah. I'm back. I've always said Twilight Zone was ahead of its time, and people weren't quite ready and didn't understand a lot of the episodes. Yeah, no, and like it's funny. I watched a lot of these growing up. Like I saw this really young. Like I remember I used to watch these at New Year's Eve or even 4th of July. They do the marathon. I used to watch these, and you know, this is one of those ones I watched as a kid and was just horrified. And then you learn about it in school and just being like, dude, like, because this episode, it always reminds me of the whole thing. And it's very effective. It's horror. And I think you made a good point, man. That's why horror is the way it is. It sometimes is going to cause outrage and cause people to freak out. But I do think this particular episode had a purpose and an important thing to say. And that's the Twilight Zone in a nutshell to me. A lot of these have an important thing to say. Like you said, the social commentary from Rod Serling and, you know, Richard Matheson and all these guys that wrote fantastic episodes. I do think they all have a lot to say. They're entertaining and like, they're always, I think, even though there are social commentary, they stand up on their own 2 feet and it's not beating me over the head with it. I can still be entertained and enjoy, you know, and see the horror elements, sci-fi, all these things. Like, I think it's the best show of all time. It really is my favorite personal show ever.
Yeah, I remember being a young kid, man. I never, you know, when you're young, the black and white, I grew up on Universal monster movies, like I said. But like, you know, when you get older, the black and white never really sticks to you too hard. But I remember just like always being intrigued with Twilight Zone. My mom and dad would always watch it. Tomorrow, New Year's Eve, my mom and dad would watch it. They're probably going to watch it tomorrow too. And I think it's on Sci-Fi, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Sci-Fi. My mom just texted me, actually. She said, One for the Angels. I forget that one. Is that an episode?
That's a great one. So I believe it's Ed. Is it Ed Wynn?
I gotta look that one up. I don't remember that one.
I forget his damn name, but he's a great actor. And basically he's like this, he's a pitch guy. He pitches people on the street. You know, I have the greatest string you can buy. I have the greatest toys you can buy. And fucking Murray Hamilton, of course, from Jaws. Murray Hamilton shows up and says, I'm Mr. Death, and it's your time to go. and he's doing all these things. I don't want to go. I don't want to die. And basically, he makes this deal where he's like, if I don't do, my greatest pitch, you can't take me. And he goes, okay. And instead, he threatens to take this like 5-year-old girl that he's friends with. She gets hit by a fucking car. And then at the end is like he has to make the pitch to Mr. Death. He has to make the greatest pitch of his life. It's so intense, but man, it has a great heart to it. And the performance by the lead, it's Ed something. Please, somebody, if you can look it up for me. Ed something is his damn name. He's good. He's in another...
Hold on. Here it is. Fucking Ed Wynn.
Ed Wynn. Okay, I was right. Okay, for some reason I was like Ed Wynn, like Ed Wynn. Like I thought I was fucking it up in my head. But no, it's a really good one. Murray Hamilton's great in it. That's a really underrated one too. That's a good pick from your mom. That's
good job, Marge.
Marge, Mama Marge. Yo,
Marge,
charge
Marge
to Mama Marge.
There you go. But now, listen. I'm really like the last couple episodes we talked about was good because it kind of transitioned because we talked about extreme horror in the beginning with me getting into the extreme horror, and then the exhibit and Death Head Revisited. To me, honestly, that's extreme horror. Like I said before, like elitists will say like, oh, it's not gory, it's not disturbing. To me, Death Head Revisited and the exhibit, they're disturbing to me.
Do you think like, see, my thing with the extreme horror and where I lose certain people, I think there are certain people that look at extreme horror and it has to be graphic. Like there's no other way around it for them. I don't see it that way. I think you can be extremely psychologically fucked up, like make me think about something. And like, if I fill in the blanks with my own head, man, like Martyrs that's a movie that's really, you see a lot of the brutality, but to me, the whole psychology behind why, that's what fucks me up about Martyrs. It's that whole, we want to know what the afterlife is. And if we, if you've seen Martyrs, but
I love Martyrs.
I do too. I just think like there's this, that aspect is the scariest part of it. Some people think it's the violence, but I don't know. And I think that's the thing, like extreme or not extreme. That's in the eye of the watcher, right?
Eye of the beholder.
I was going to say, I was like, I don't want to get made fun of. They'd be like, fucking this guy.
My most, honestly, real quick, honorable mention, my most underrated episode is Night of the Meek. But the only reason I didn't talk about it is because I just had a Christmas episode on the Cabin of Dr. Howdy's podcast. I talked about that for my Christmas episode.
And I talked about it a couple weeks ago. So
I know you did. Yeah, I watched it. Yeah, it's so fucking good, dude. That episode is just too good. It's the Christmas spirit. That's what it is. That's the Christmas spirit in that episode.
No, I agree with you completely. There's a couple comments here. Did you guys already talk about the one with the pretty girl is shopping, having fun? That's a great one too.
That was going to be one of my lists. That one.
It didn't make mine, but it's damn close. After Hours, very fucking creepy.
Very good.
Marcia, creepy shit. Mannequin was dope.
There it is.
Martyrs, hell yes. The After, yes, absolutely. So if we've been at this almost 2 hours. Unless there's anything else you want to talk about, man, dude, this was a fun show. I want to thank you because we had a really fun. We've covered every fucking base there was tonight, man. Sharding, extreme horror, fucking Twilight Zone. I mean, shit. I don't think there's anything we didn't discuss.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you letting me on, man, and chopping it up with you. It was a lot of fun. I'd like to do it again. And hopefully next time you get the duo, the devious duo here, actually. So, me and Jeff, we're jerk offs.
Hey, I've been thinking for the new year, I did a roundtable episode. AJ was on that. It was AJ, me, Don, and Drink Beer and Watch Horror, who's also on Instagram. I want to do more of those. I want to have the Night Watch Zone. I wanted to have them on, but it would be really fun to have you guys on too. So I don't know, maybe if you want to do a horror roundtable down the road, that would be a lot of fun too, because I really I enjoy your show and it'd be cool to have everybody on here.
Hey man, I enjoy your show. I appreciate it. And we're usually free on weekends. We do weekends after 10 o'clock. So we're night owls,
I can do that. I can do that. We could totally do that. Absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely. So everybody's saying great show, guys. Stay frosty. Thank you so much. This was fun and having beers.
That's my boy, the fanatic, baby.
Great time,
dude. AJ.
Thank you so much. Reagan McNeil Extras. I have never watched the Twilight Zone before. Just want to say hi. Hello.
Do it.
Aubrey, awesome show. I'll be back. Heart. Thank you so much,
awesome
Aubrey.
Pick.
Everybody, thank you so much. We will catch you next time and next year. Crazy enough. I know it's been a long, crazy year, but
you just did a white people joke. I'll catch you next year.
Yeah, no, We'll see you next year now. But everybody, charge to a wonderful, safe, happy New Year. Everybody stay safe, stay wonderful, stay classic. And we will catch you next time only on The Graveyard. Too sweet. Peace.
Go fuck yourself.